Oh shit, I forgot to add something.
Hello,
Oh.
everybody.
Hello. Welcome to News and Nonsense. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with.
I'm Farrah, your resident Caribbean queen, and I'm Bazak, babies.
I am Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
Howdy. This is News and Nonsense, where we sift through the week's news and nonsense. We sift through the wit. I can't even say it today. I'm tired. Week from the chaff, week from the chaff, the sack from the crap, the diamond from the rush, just to help you get through your week. How are you guys in the chat? Are you okay?
Oh, okay. I'll go through and do roll call. Bardigan came in bright and early. Yvonne came in next. Little Rock is in the house. Sora is here as well. Um, Little Rock says just finishing up cooking Sunday dinner.
Well done.
Lovely. Yvonne wasn't feeling too well as well. Mercy Prestige is in the house. And Amal is here as well. Everybody watching on Instagram, hello. And if you want to get involved in the chat, just head over to YouTube.
Yes, please. And we're going to get into our first story. Did you have that the rundown of the Dubai situation? You said you had a video.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So we're going to get into the young lad who's facing jail in Dubai, having sex with a 17-year-old girl. So his name's Marcus Farkana from Tottenham, North London, and he was on holiday with his family when him and this young girl had a secretive holiday romance. And she's now 18, but at the time she was 17. And after, like, when the girl returned home and when her mother saw pictures of them together and the chats between them, the girl's mother decided to report the relationship to Dubai police, who then have arrested him and have detained him at his hotel. So at the moment, he's currently detained at an Airbnb by himself. I just saw a headline saying his mental health is deteriorating, which of course would be absolutely frightening. There's rumors that the mother is like the girl's South Asian. I'm not sure how far that's true, if that's been confirmed.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
yeah, you want to pick it up?
The video that I've seen is a content creator on TikTok who
Yeah.
went live, and his cousin went on the live and filled in the blanks, so to speak, and really spoke on what the family are going through.
Yeah.
And the content creator just basically did a summary of what took place on the live, because you can't save lives on TikTok unless you're running it concurrently. And it seems that the report was actually made in the hotel at the time.
Oh, wow.
The mother didn't come home and report it. It was all done in Dubai during the 1 week holiday that they were there. Should I play the video now?
Yes, please.
We can stop in between because it's a 5 minute summary as well.
Hey guys, so we got more information about Marcus. Thank you to everyone who joined my live. I love to hear people's perspective on things, especially about this story. It's touched a load of people's hearts, and his cousin actually joined my live, and I just want to recant the story that she told me. So Marcus had just turned 18 and he was supposed to go on a family holiday to celebrate, I believe, his dad's birthday in Dubai. It was a last minute thing. Marcus actually didn't want to go, but the family was like, oh, just come. I believe it was his first holiday and everything like that. So anyway, they got to Dubai, they got to the hotel, and that's where Marcus met allegedly the Indian girl. Obviously they exchanged numbers, they started talking. He was only really supposed to go to Dubai for a whole week. So Marcus and this Indian girl were sleeping with each other over the course of, the holiday period. And Marcus's parents actually caught them in the act because they were sleeping with each other in, their parents' bed, his parents' bed or whatever. So his parents scolded him and said, don't do that shit. You know what I mean? We come on holiday, not for all of this. And then they made the girl's parents aware as well about what was going down, and they were sleeping together and whatever it was. So Marcus's parents were very open with the Indian girl's mum. Anyway, the Indian girl's mum was furious about the situation, and she tried to get Marcus charged with rape. But because Marcus had messages in his phone that proved that the sexual act was consensual, they didn't go forward with charging Marcus. So the Indian mother was still very furious about the situation. You know, it was a lot to do with shame on the family, and clearly because he's black. So when she got back to London or the UK, she'd done some research, and she basically called Dubai police and told them that, okay, well, Marcus had sex with my daughter who is underage, and that's why these charges are brought against him. Now, his cousin told me that Marcus is the sweetest boy. He doesn't really get girls like that. Not get girls like that, but he's not really confident like that. He's not really forward like that. He's very gentlemanly. As you can clearly see, she said that he's very shy, he's very quiet and very reserved. And, you know, her heart breaks that her cousin has to go through this. And I just want to give you the information that I had during my live where people were researching. And basically Dubai has a law where an unmarried couple can sleep with each other and no charges will be brought against them. Also, they do have a law that, you know, if ever you're in this situation where something like this takes place, the parent or the person who was in the sexual act can, bring charges against it. It just so happens that, you know, there was a couple months age difference, and, you know, the mother got her way, her vindictive way, and so she reported him to the police in Dubai. The girl's mother can also end this if she calls up Dubai police and says, I just want to drop it, don't take it no further, and Dubai police will drop it, and that will be the end of it, and he will be sent home. So really and truly, it's on that Indian girl's family and that Indian girl's mum to put a stop to this. But it seems like she don't want to do that, so we have to take other measures. It breaks my heart that, you know, he's going through this. Apparently he's alone in an Airbnb and his brother flies back and forth. But, you know, the cousin told me that the family have already been scammed out of £10,000 trying to get Marcus, you know, legal representation. So they have a GoFundMe of the amount of £20,000 to get Marcus's representation, and also, you know, to pay for expenses whilst he's out there on his own. So I'm reaching out to every community and asking, please, I'm going to put the GoFundMe in the comments. I'm going to put the GoFundMe in my caption. Please, please, please give what you can. We want to support Marcus and we want to bring him home, especially the black community. He's one of our own. This could be your brother. This could be your son. This could be your friend. And, you know, I feel like this is just heartbreaking and he doesn't deserve it. So we need to move in the pack, and we need to move like we're one, and we need to bring him home because he deserves to be home. So please, anybody
I will find that link as well and put it in the chat for anybody that wants to support. You found it.
I just dropped it.
I watched this and I was furious before, but after that, the way my blood was boiling, I was so pissed off that this is taking place because basically two teenagers had sex and you are now in shame. That you would be okay with somebody's son going to prison for up to 20 years. Like another human, you would be like, that's okay. That their son could go through this. Cannot believe it.
I've literally got tears in my eyes. That's wild. And it's just on sense of pride and ego, literally. And I knew when I heard the rumors that she was South Asian, I knew the shame element would come into it. But that is your bigger problem. And it's also that thing where parents project, and this is about that parenting thing where you project your issues onto your child, because it's not even about the child. What's your child saying? What are you angry about? Like, you're so more concerned about okay, yes, your child has now had sex. Now you know your child has had sex. What are you doing now to educate her about how to go forward as a young girl that's had sex now? Instead of focusing on the boy and then blaming the young boy, and probably, I'm going to assume, allegedly feeling a lot of racism towards the fact that it's a black boy, focus on your child and talk about her now stepping into this next phase of her womanhood. But instead of trying
the thing is here, we don't know that she's never had sex before. That's one thing.
Exactly.
We're assuming that she was a virgin. We don't know that she was a
exactly.
virgin. The second thing is, yeah, we don't know who this girl is. That means that no one knows who this girl is. That means that the mum hasn't felt no shame because it's not out there. That means that she didn't need to do that. That means that it's just purely vindictive. Yeah. Like you said, Nana, it angers me because it's a case of she is happy for somebody else's child to serve 20 years for a consensual act. It was a consensual act. Her daughter is now 18, but unfortunately, because it happened prior, she can't even go to the Dubai police and say to them, actually, no, it was consensual. It's still down to what happened at the time of the incident. But it's like, just because you are feeling ashamed, you on your own, no one has made you feel ashamed, you're going to do that to another human being. It's disgusting. I'm enraged.
I'm fuming. That criminalizing a young black boy for, and you know, they're saying he's shy, he's just coming into his own, and that assumption and tarnishing a black boy, then saying that he raped her, like that's what you lean towards. That it's not even lean. That's what you've actually tried to get him locked down on.
Yes,
it's like, how wicked and evil are you? And that's what I'm saying. Talk to your daughter. And
he was informed by his parents that they were having sex. So you immediately, in your furious state, was like, "Oh no, he raped my child."
Yeah.
Like, and realistically, his parents would have called you up and told you about this.
Exactly.
They did. That's what she said. They did.
It's so wicked. It's so evil. So again, you would have had somebody else's son go to prison.
Yeah.
Grape.
Still
that
now.
You know ain't true. You know it's not true. If he hadn't been speaking to this girl through text messages, he could be up on grape charges in Dubai.
Exactly.
And that's a different story altogether.
Absolutely okay with it. Like I need them outed. Like this is like, no, she shouldn't have the anonymity at all because his name is out there now.
Yeah.
His name's out there. His reputation has been destroyed anyway. Because to certain factors, they're still going to be like, this guy's dangerous. He slept with someone else. Like, no, we need her out. This is crazy.
The thing I'm worried about, that she should be outed. The family should be outed 100%. It's just people's righteous upset. For them to be fueled by motivation, because they're being targeted, they're going to go harder. I just want them, but they need to be fairly outed, and the woman just needs to drop the charges. They need proper pressure. But I just don't want them to then turn that pressure, if they're outed, into vindictiveness even more, and then try and do more with it and say, look, the violence of the community, this is where it comes from. Because this woman is horrid. She's evil.
But them being outed doesn't necessarily have to come with violence. It's just them being any of that thing. And I don't know I also don't know what more she could do. She's already pressed charges. Dubai police are going by the legality of it all. That's what they're doing. Fuckery could happen over here. It's got nothing to do with how they're dealing with shit over there.
I understand. It's just we're mob rule, because people are rightly angry about this. I'm just saying this woman's proven her vindictiveness already, and I get the legality of it. I just don't want it to be even more incentivized to do. I don't know what else she could do.
I think that's what we need, is for the level that she has been vindictive to be like, this is a character trait. Like, we need it to be backed up. So we need all factions to be like, this woman, this is who she is. And then we got to investigate her. Does she have form for this? Is she mentally stable? Like, we need to actually really interrogate what she's about, because this is so wicked. People don't do wicked things in isolation. She's probably done some shit before. How is she treating her daughter? What's actually been the home life that her daughter has been? Oh, does she have other kids? What's this woman like? Like, we need to know. And they need to take that into consideration, actually. Can you even trust the word of this woman? Because before, she started off with, he had raped her.
Exactly.
So, okay, we need to start interrogating her character. What has she been doing in society over here? Like, it's actually like, it's not it's not okay that we don't know who she is, because this
I agree.
woman dwells amongst us, and she is harboring some racist attitudes that we all need to be very aware of. It's for all of us at this moment in time. But yeah, I'm like, what the hell? I feel for this family so much. Like a week's holiday, first holiday, you're literally just like, and he's just turned 18 as well. So
And
this is so a part of a gift. Like,
and the fact they didn't want to go, like, you know, that thing when you have those decisions, you know, when you go on holiday, depending on, this is his first holiday, so maybe he wasn't thinking of it like that, but just decisions and things that happen when you're going on holiday, getting on a plane, if you're kind of like not superstitious but spiritually aware and kind of conscious of the things that happen when you're getting on a plane, all these things, who knows why he didn't want to go. And then his family go like, he didn't even want to go, and then they're going to be blaming themselves on top of that. Because who knows what that feeling was. I don't want to go. Why
It could have just been anything. Could have been he's never been on a plane before and he's scared. But
no, I know.
I know. But I'm just saying, regardless, for me, I'm with you, Nana. This woman needs to be fully outed. Fully outed. Because you're outing this little boy and you're trying to make out like he's on things that he's not. Yeah? He's a little boy who had a consensual sexual relationship with another person. That's what happened. But because you're vexed, you want to punish him for all his days. Nah.
No, I agree.
All the information needs to come out.
I agree she should be outed. I definitely don't disagree with that. I'm just concerned about her behavior.
And also the thing is, the other thing is, I'm not even concerned about mob rule. I'm not concerned about that, because sometimes we're too concerned about how we look. Oh, let's not do this because we're going to look like that. Let's look like we are unified together and that we stand on business together, and we do not appreciate this little boy's life being ruined. Let's stand on that. I'm not saying that necessarily that's where you were going, but I am saying sometimes we are too concerned about how we look to the outward world. No, the outward world are happy for us to look like we are pedophiles and like we are she tried to say this boy raped her.
Yeah,
she tried to say this boy raped this consensual teenager. Two teenagers having sex. She tried to put a different kind of frame on it. So no, out her all the way.
Yeah, I don't think that people are going to be. Sorry, I don't think people are going to be concerned with how they look on this, because I think everyone, the minute she is outed, they're going to get it. They are going to get it, like in whatever shape or form. People are not going to take it lying down, because already this is one part. This is one story where I've seen everybody in the consensus saying this is fucking out of order. So I've definitely seen that. I don't think this is one that we will be concerned about our reputation. Anyway, so yeah.
Life of Bodge says, I hate to say it, but we got to tell our kids the real when it comes to interracial dating. I really hear positive things when link up our family with certain.
Rarely.
Okay, I rarely hear positive things when we link up our family with certain BME communities. I mean, I hear it, but it's different. It's different generations, and they operate differently as well, and how they merge together. But yes, but you don't know, because this could be anybody's family, really. Like sometimes it's like that. It could be anybody's family, and depending on their family status and what they're doing, you get caught sleeping with this person's daughter and they are going to do everything they can to destroy you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what I was talking about, the parent shame. It's that projection of what you think how your child should act, and you're projecting onto it rather than looking at the care of the child and what they're going through. And it could be, it's religious bound, it's cultural bound, it's class bound. There could be so many incentives for families to switch like that. But yes, there is also
there's a real problem, definitely.
Imagine you're sorry to interrupt you guys, but I'm just thinking, like, imagine you're this boy's parents, right? You felt like you did the right thing by informing the other parents.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that they're aware of what was happening, because that's what you do. You protected the children in the situation. You make sure that the parents are well informed. And then to show their appreciation for you being open and honest, they go and do that to your kid.
Right.
No.
Honestly, this is what I'm saying. The rage. I can only imagine the palpable rage that is going through this family. Oh, I can't. I would be in such distress that I've be to another parent. I'm trying to do the right thing, and you're like, my child. It would be okay for them to spend the rest of their adulthood in prison in another country. you would think that would be okay for the act of just having sex with your daughter. Wild. Like, oh, no, this isn't okay. And again, where is David Lammy?
Like, yeah, exactly. Where are the
David
representatives?
Lammy's too busy being quiet, isn't he? Because he's their local council as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's their local council. He has been contacted, so let's see what he does.
This is too long.
It's rather sterling.
It's literally days now. Where are just any representative from this country speaking on what's going on, to even say that we are in contact with the families, we are dealing with this, we are anything, any word on this?
It's Rada Sterling, the founder and chief executive, detained in Dubai. She's the one who's been the most vocal. Nowhere else, like no official has stood in defense of this family. It's wild. It is wild. What's the thing? Sorry. I don't know how to explain. Well, I don't know how to explain to her about the cons without me coming across racist. It must be something he said before. Okay, my little sister is in a mixed relationship, and honestly, I'm worried. I think it is. Yeah, I think we, especially in, I'm not going to say especially in the UK, but from what I know of the UK, it's easier. It's a seamless thing it's easy to get into interracial relationships, easier maybe than other cultures and countries. And the conversation isn't necessarily always had in that way because it's like it's so commonplace. But there are conversations to really be had. And I don't think I guess you shouldn't be concerned with coming across racist if you're not racist. All you have to do is like, these are the facts. This is what happens in society. So just have all your awareness, faculties about you, and understand what you're getting into. I don't think you have to worry about if you become racist unless you say racist things along with the commentary that you're giving. You just have to be honest about the situation, buddy, because it's real.
Yeah, truly. Like, it's culturally and just, it's like historically, there's differences there. And so you have to take into account how you're being treated and not think, this could just be a family that doesn't like me. Could be, but there also could be other things that they see you as lesser than, that could be a factor. So it's truly going into this with your eyes open, and then with the education of, okay, I've got my eyes open. Do you even want to be a part of that family? Do you, though you may love the person, but do you want to have this relationship? Because it's loaded, it's big, and there definitely is, just within lots of different Asian communities, the mixing of caste, culture, color is a huge problem. We don't have the same things within our various different Black communities as well. So it's just being cognizant of their culture and what you're stepping into. You have to have these conversations, definitely.
I think the other conversation to have is also when we're traveling, because unfortunately, lots of countries have rules that are very, very different to UK rules. When we're traveling, we just need to be very conscious and of the laws and restrictions in these places. Like, especially to the younger people, even if you just say it to them and it goes, you just need to at least say to them, be careful. Don't get caught doing no drugs. Don't get caught doing nothing that is against their laws, because you can be held in prison for a very long time. We've seen it happen when people have gone to Thailand. We've seen it happen when people have traveled, to America. It's very, very different to what happens over here. And you may not necessarily be protected. And sometimes the sentences can seem outlandish and outrageous, but that is the case of what people are facing over there. So we just need, and it's even in Caribbean countries and even in African countries, we just need to make sure that people are fully aware, or at least a little bit aware of what can happen in these places.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, the family's not, I'm sure they didn't assume that their child is going to go off and do some stuff, but that's the thing. You're right. It's like,
I don't even think an assumption. It's just be careful,
Yeah.
Because I think we all need to say that to our youngers as they're going in different places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would totally feel like you were doing the right thing in informing the girl's parents.
That's what I would do, morally, and just like, do you know what, guys? Parent to parent, look at our silly kids. That's what you'd expect. No, maybe not a laugh, maybe some anger, maybe some tears, maybe a little family get together, like, what happened? That's the most I'd expect if the parents were angry was that. Maybe I want to speak to him, I want to have a go at him. That's as far. I would never ever. And I would definitely I think morally I'd be like, okay, because my thing would be thinking, oh, let's find this girl. And also maybe they were even a bit annoyed with the girl, like, who's this girl that you slept with as well? Why is she sleeping? Do you know what I mean? From that perspective,
Yeah.
you came and come to sleep with my son, so I want to have a go at have a conversation with the parents
In my bed.
In my bed.
Like, I would want to find out where she's from.
Yeah. So
Who's
my thing,
her. I would want to have a conversation with her parents, definitely.
exactly. And I would think that we'd both be angry, we just put a united front on and everybody go home. I would not expect that turnaround. And I would be I wonder if they even got the chance to, because I really would have just gone, knock on the door and be like, are you nuts? But then I don't know.
I mean, I just
and you end up being detained in Dubai as well, because it could have definitely go left.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's this is such a crazy, wild situation. It's a nightmare that could be.
And now
it could be ended. Like, realistically, for the mum, you've calmed down now. Whatever. Now you just got to call them back up and just be like, "I'm dropping all charges." You could do that. A good person could be like, I was that pissed, okay, but I'm seeing sense now. Or even another family elder, somebody needs to speak to that woman and be like, drop this shit now.
Yeah, and I wonder.
The other thing to bear in mind is the financial implications the family are facing, because they're having to pay for their son to stay in Airbnbs the whole time he's there. He's 18. They're having to pay for him to food and water, basically, as well as accommodation. And they probably just spent a whole load of money even getting to Dubai in the first place as a family.
Apparently, there's a trial date that's been set on December 9th. For 3 days, he was held in a police station. You can't lose. The family's having to pay $2,000 for the Airbnbs until his case is resolved. Come on. The fact that it's going to trial, this woman is...
It's wicked,
I didn't know they even got to that far in it.
This is so wicked. This is so wicked. But when you hear of the wicked things that people can do, this is sometimes where shame is needed, so that she can't... So, your community, as in around you as well, people that know you, can heap pressure onto what you're doing is dangerously wicked. And so whatever her social standings are, maybe that can be affected. Because some people don't care until they're outed, until other people in their life, is like, nah, I can't even be associated with you.
I agree. There needs to be protests at her workplace.
Yes.
People need to have picket lines and all stuff at her workplace. That's what needs to happen. Wherever it is that she resides, that's what needs to happen. Peaceful protesting, but outside your yard.
Yeah. Like, you can't get away with this. And we shouldn't be covering who you are either. Like, your actual community, as in your friends and family, need to know what you are capable of.
And that this could be your kid. If you'd all gone away and this had happened, it could have been your son.
Exactly. Because the girl could have been in the same situation. It's just recently that Dubai's changed this law, this out of wedlock law. So she could have been in the same damn situation.
I mean, how vindictive can you be?
Both of them get in trouble.
Yeah,
because they're both.
Both of them would have been in trouble.
Yeah,
but how vindictive must you be to research? Oh, the law has now changed. So what can I do? I know I'm going to do this. I'm going to report you to the police.
Yeah. Coming home and researching what kind of... That's your fuel.
How can I still punish him?
And also,
it's evil.
Yeah, that's bad, because and it's, again, I keep going back to what's your problem? Your daughter's had sex.
Yeah, that's why we need to know. We need to get a full scope on who she is to find out what her issues are.
All right.
It will come out. The internet will do what the internet does.
It will. Someone's going to leak whoever it is he was messaging, because it's on his phone. That will get out somehow.
I mean, maybe the family are being guarded in how this kind of goes, and I get it, because they may be like, we don't want anything to happen to our child and all of that, but maybe somebody adjacent could release something.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Something's going to come out. I don't mean the family. I mean, something's going to come out.
It will come out. There's no way. It's not going to say...
We don't know who he messaged. He could have messaged some of his friends over here for all we know.
It's taken a little bit long, but yeah, the internet will find them for sure, because the internet never fails in that respect. Okay, moving on. Let's have a Diddy update. So Diddy recently went to he was in court for another kind of hearing about whether or not he'll get what do we call it? Be able to come home and await trial in the comfort of his own house. He was in court and they have denied it because they haven't denied it. They're still deliberating on whether or not he should come home.
Yeah.
His lawyers were also arguing that the video of him and Cassie was doctored to make him look bad. They're requesting a 20-minute analysis from a forensic video expert, which they argue corroborates their account of a consensual relationship rather than the prosecution's narrative of abuse and sex trafficking. The government maintains the video depicts Ventura fleeing coercion. Basically that's it. They're saying that it's been edited to omit key context and rearrange the sequences to portray Combs as dangerous. How do you?
So him running down him running down the corridor, chasing her, dragging her up and kicking her. That's been edited out of context.
Absolutely.
And out of sync.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it's he didn't drag her. So what we were seeing was not a dragging movement. I guess he was aiding her by the floor. So she's crawling and he was aiding her. Also the vase that we clearly saw being thrown it wasn't. He actually just threw flowers.
Yes.
Not
You're right,
the vase.
Nana.
And he was.
You're right. And she wasn't barefoot.
He wasn't. Yes, we saw her carrying shoes. Somehow they seem to have been Diddy stuff because he had run out to get his clothes from her. Although we only saw her carrying a bag and her shoes. Somehow it was she had run out with his clothes, put it by the lift that she was trying to get into, and then had run back, got her stuff, and that's what we watched. So
I get it. Role play.
Events. Yeah.
It was role play. What we saw was role play. That's what it was.
Yeah, definitely. Got it wrong. My bad, Diddy. Sorry for all the times we made you enemy of progress. It's clearly we were wrong.
I don't even know how his legal team are able to come up with this. There's a whole transcript from her as to what happened. Aren't they not supposed to even talk about this shit?
Yeah, because they're saying that the evidence that has been presented is misconstrued. So they're still trying to go for the mistrial. They're still trying to say it's not, the prosecution have not put forward the correct details because they are sending in doctored videos that the public has now seen that forgetting that he apologized for, but okay, we're putting that to one side.
He apologized.
He first denied ever took place and then apologized for. It's like, dude.
And said he needed help.
Some time. And because you keep on flipping threatening witnesses, you can't have bail.
What did he need help for? When he apologized, he said he needed help, right? So what did he need help for? And then and then what about all the other footage they found in your yard? What about all the other people that have come forward? What about all of that? That's
guys,
all doctored.
You're guessing it wrong. It's all a lie. You really got it wrong. I think you guys need to stop now.
That's just wild.
Look, his family are turning up at court supporting him. They believe him. We should believe him.
These guys
his family are always going to turn up.
Investigated as well because there's lots of other evidence allegedly on each of these kids and his mother included. So, as it stands, allegedly, they are a crime family. So who knows what they've been
Nana.
I mean,
who knows what they've been up to.
So also, just to add, they're also saying that, just reporting on this situation, that they've got alleged text messages from Cassie to Diddy after the hotel incident. And this is what she said. It's apparently these texts are real. I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done. I still have crazy bruising. I turn my head for a second and you get violent. You drag me down the hall by my hair. I have bleeding cuts. You hit me in the head twice. She further accused Diddy of recurring abusive behavior, saying, when you get upset the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. So these are alleged texts that have been revealed. So these will probably be entered into the trial as evidence. So then you know,
Yeah.
it's
And there's his text as well.
Yes. His replies. That's his replies as
was
well.
like, coming for me, can you come back? Or can you come, Lisa, come in here? I need you. So,
and then
like,
whilst he is inside, one might say that maybe he doesn't need to come home because things are quite okay. Because whilst he's been incarcerated at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, some inmates allegedly have been vying for opportunities to assist him with personal tasks, such as making his bed. The journalist Toure has been sharing insights from a former inmate, noting that Diddy resides in a dormitory with approximately 20 men involved in high-profile cases. Within this environment, certain inmates, described as groupies, are reportedly eager to perform special favors for Diddy, leading to jealousy and competition amongst them.
Yes, that's how he managed to get the extra minutes as well to speak to people. They are also putting in there that it's standard practice, although it goes against the prison, but that everybody has been willing to give up their phone time to help Diddy along the way. So it wasn't that he has been threatening anybody or asking. They have been offering their services because they also too believe that he is innocent, and they want him to be able to speak to his legal team as much as he needs to. Yes.
So part of the new Diddy harem, aren't they? That's all.
Diddy's doing well in there, so he should stay, innit?
It's just chill. Like, you know, have you heard about his previous bodyguard recently dying? No.
Yes, Uncle John.
Has he?
So Uncle John has been not Dean, not Gene.
Yeah.
No, not Gene. This is Uncle John. Didn't get the same type of notoriety as Uncle Gene was, but he had been speaking just this year, saying that he had seen some things and that Diddy has allegedly paid him first off to kill Biggie, and all of a sudden he passed away. It seems like in September, and he passed away from what people were saying, pneumonia or maybe a heart condition. So both of them are out there. But again, how many people around Diddy have passed for these same type of things? Pneumonia or a heart condition. So
it's always that, isn't it? It's always those two things.
His family have also been deleting, or whoever is running his TikTok account have been deleting comments from people as well, like insinuating that this has anything to do with Diddy. So yes, you know, another person passing away in suspicious circumstances.
Good grief.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we will keep you posted on what's going on with Diddy. At the moment, I don't know when they're going to come back and reconvene to say whether or not he can come home or not. They still see him as a flight risk. We shall see. So, guys, we're on high alert because somebody's got a message for us, and maybe not us, but the governments that rule the country that we live in, which we need to leave immediately, expeditiously. Putin's got something to say. I'm scared.
В ответ на применение американского и британского дальнобойного оружия 21 ноября текущего года российские вооруженные силы нанесли комбинированный удар по одному из объектов оборонно-промышленного комплекса Украины. В боевых условиях было проведено в том числе и испытание одной из новейших российских ракетных систем средней дальности. В данном случае с баллистической ракетой в безъядерном гиперзвуковом оснащении. Мы считаем себя вправе применять наше оружие против военных объектов тех стран, которые позволяют применять свое оружие против наших объектов. А в случае эскалации агрессивных действий будем отвечать также решительно и зеркально. Об этом рекомендую серьезно задуматься и правящим элитам тех стран, которые вынашивают планы использовать против России свои воинские контингенты.
Okay, guys, you hearing this? He's issuing a warning. He's going to retaliate for anyone supplying weapons to Ukraine. Yeah. How do you
I'm not surprised. I mean, we called it. We said it. We've been saying this shit. We have been saying this stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm not surprised. because these countries, these Western countries, think that they are allowed to do whatever they want in other people's countries and nobody should retaliate against them ever. That's not the way it goes, bruv. It isn't, because everybody thinks they're right in this scenario, innit?
And also, I think the West is very, or I don't know, I don't like to speak for anybody because I don't know how their brain works really and what order they want these things to go in. But I feel like there's the confidence, like no one's really going to go against us. And Putin's been like the big boogeyman for a very long time. So it's like they've been poking the bear just to see what he will actually do. So
Piers Morgan said on his show, when Mehdi, I think it was Mehdi that was on his show, Piers Morgan said that Putin's never going to really do that, is he? Because he isn't a extremist. He said only Islamic extremists would do something like that. That is what Piers Morgan said on his show. Because in Piers Morgan's eyes, even though they hate Russia, he's still a white man, isn't it? So he's never really going to do anything to another white country like that, like Britain or America or whatever the case may be. They're far more worried, in inverted commas, about what extremists will do than they are about Putin.
Bardi Gang say would they attack the UK though? So I guess along the lines of what you're saying, how Piers feels, I just don't see us being touched. We have definitely grown up in a world where we who live in the West assume that we'll never be touched. Well, I don't know if Americans have the same because they have had bombs, but in that, I don't know. They
haven't had bombs.
No, they haven't. I just realized it's them. They were the aggressors. I double back. But yeah, so we bred up in a world where the West seems arrogantly confident that no one will touch us in that way.
Look, America on one hand. Sorry, Nana, go ahead.
Have you actually seen the missile that he put forward to everybody? It's crazy. And he says nobody else has this. And he says there are no defenses against it as well. Do we really want to push this man who, by all intents purposes, is like their country, as some people say, is on its knees anyway, to just be like, you guys have reduced me to my knees. I'm going to do the same to you. Like, why do we need to push another superpower to show their superpowers? It's like, can we like, if Ukraine want to fight them, let them fight them. Why does everybody else have to be involved in this?
What did the UK get out of it? What does America get out of it? Being allied with the Ukraine or getting meddling? I know they
it's resources again, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. It's resources. It's always, when you look into the deepness of it, it is always going to be about resources and how they can control what is given to their countries and the money that they make from it. That's what it's about.
Unless somebody can explain different, from what I have looked into with this, there's always been contentions on Ukraine and the eastern region and Russia wanting part of it and some people that live there are like, I am Russian, some people are like, I'm Ukrainian. So they've had this issue. But then it was like NATO were trying to add Ukraine to come in and Russia was like, we don't have to beef with each other if you leave Ukraine alone. Like, you are now encroaching on our territory if you now have Ukraine as a part of NATO, because then it's like there's no buffer between us. And then they decided to invade. So it's like, again, why are you guys getting involved in this region? And also, can we face the other way? Because if the world is truly a globe and round, Russia is next door to the USA. Fight that way. Why has it got to come European way anyway? Like, if you're going to do your missiles, go that way. Like, they are another superpower. Like, it doesn't have to come into Europe.
That's why it's understanding the strategy of the
play. Because that's because the UK and the other countries want to get involved. That's why it's coming this way. Because America, they want to get involved.
America's involved as well.
Yeah, America's got a bigger mouth. America would be
America's involved as well, though.
No, I'm not saying that they're not, but I'm just answering why it's coming this way. Because these lot are here saying we support it. That's why.
What the deal is when it comes to the 5 superpower countries. Which, like, what's the chess pieces? It's very interesting.
In what sense? What do you mean?
Like why? Okay, like you're saying, why is it coming? Why is Nana saying? Why is it coming Europe's side and not going to America's side? Yes, the UK is vocal about it and supplying, but haven't the US done the same level of kind of supplying and support? So then,
I don't understand why it goes European ways. I would really love somebody to explain that. When between the furthest point in Russia to Alaska is 55 miles.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Alaska was under Russian rule to begin with. The Russians colonized Alaska before the Americans did.
I always wonder, why is it that everything points European? Even when you go on maps and they show it, it's like Russia would need to get to the USA, they would need to send missiles, and it goes through Europe. It's like, can we reconfigure? Would it not just go that way?
That's why that's the conversation. Like, what is that strategy? Why does it go that way? What agreement or what rules of engagement does America have versus everybody else? Because there is definitely.
I mean, I don't know that it necessarily would. Though. I actually don't know that it necessarily would just go that way. If Russia decided to strike America, I don't think they're going to go via France and the Atlantic, and they're going to go the quickest way. That's what they're going to do.
You would think so. I just don't know. I question how these maps is like
the maps are bullshit though, isn't it?
I'm just like, I question why, because they're neighbors. Like it's like they really position Russia to be far away from the USA, and it's like, you two are actually neighbors, you're actually neighbors. So it's two neighbor countries fighting, like, and can we leave it that way, and can the UK stop being up the US's arse?
I mean, they're never going to stop being up their arse. I mean, look, the UK have not come out and said, like, so that in a different war that's happening in the world, we know that the UK haven't even said anything about the arrests that have been made for Benjamin Netanyahu and the other guy whose name I always forget. They've like a lot of countries have come out and said that they will arrest him on site. The UK are silent.
Yeah,
they are silent.
But we know where they're aligned. They've been very clear on where they're aligned.
Yeah,
anyway, bum with the US.
100%.
Is it not due to Russia's historical territorial claims back
to Tsarist times?
Are you asking about Ukraine?
Yeah, no, like why they're not going, which way they're facing. I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's. I always find that very interesting. Actually, like, why is that?
Yes, Code of the Streets indeed, Will Smith, but at the same time,
man, if you back it in it, no, not all the time. Can we not?
Yeah, sometimes we need to on and say, man, them, let's stop fighting now, because man, them at a certain age, in that way.
When it's getting really real and he's deciding to show the missiles that he has, can we, like, everybody? Can we all put our hands up and be like, we don't want this? we don't want this to happen.
Heads down, thumbs up. Let's play that.
I mean, there is still loads of talk that somehow Orange Man is going to be able to squash all of these beefs anyway, and so he will save the day. And that
that's what I was saying the other day.
He's funded by Russia anyway, isn't he? So
that could be part of his strategy to actually get his dictatorship. Because in all of these things, maybe something is going to be let off, like some bomb, and it's going to be like, oh my God, the world is going to end. And then Orange Man is going to step up and be like, you guys pipe down. And then he's going to save the world, and everyone's going to be like, you know what, who knew? But the Orange Man can do it. We need him. And then he's going to stay in. This is what some people say.
Let's not forget, he said he's not going to go again. He won't have to.
Speaking of the Orange Man's team of saviors,
the cabinet of clowns,
right? So apparently he's obviously they've been talking about his controversial new hires, and apparently he's been advised by Donald Trump Jr., the most sensiblest person in the world right now. So Donald Trump Jr. has taken a leading role in selecting his dad's cabinet members for his father's incoming administration, prioritizing loyalists and anti-establishment figures. Sources report that Trump Jr. advocated for Senator J.D. Vance as a running mate and backed controversial nominees like Robert F. Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard. I'm going to run through these people quickly. We know the big picture is Elon Musk is the first one. He's appointed to lead the new Department of Government Efficiency. Musk was accused of sexual misconduct by SpaceX flight attendant, which he has denied. Moving next to him.
Wait, sorry. Can we just stick with Elon very quickly? So even the position that he's been given is a position that's been made for him. It wasn't a position that was there before. It's a made-up position.
Yes, very much so. There's going to be lots of made-up. The white man next to him, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., nominated for Secretary of Health and Human Services. Kennedy himself has also been accused of groping a babysitter in the late 1990s. And the man next to him, Pete Hegseth, selected for Secretary of Defense. Hegseth faces allegations of sexual assault from 2017. And next to him, Linda McMahon, chosen for Secretary of Education. McMahon is linked to a lawsuit involving, guess what? Child sex abuse allegations against a former WWE employee. Then we go to the next row, Matt Gaetz. Initially, is it the next row? Anyway, whatever. Next person along. Initially nominated for Attorney General, Gaetz withdrew following an investigation into what? Sex trafficking allegations. Then we have Tulsi Gabbard, nominated for Director of National Intelligence. Gabbard has faced criticism for meeting with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad during his regime's crackdown on dissidents. Then we have Marco Rubio, the infamous Marco Rubio, appointed as Secretary of State. Rubio's views are considered by some as too traditional internationalists, causing concern amongst Trump's core supporters even. Then we have Kristi Noem, selected to lead the Department of Homeland Security. She's been criticized for sending South Dakota National Guard troops to the southwest border, embracing Trump's aggressive rhetoric about the region. Then we have Lee Zeldin, nominated for the Environmental Protection Agency. Zeldin has faced criticism from lawmakers, raising concerns about his suitability for the role. And then we have Pam Bondi, chosen as Attorney General after Gates' withdrawal. Bondi's past actions as Florida Attorney General include a decision not to pursue fraud allegations against Trump University after receiving a political donation from Trump. These are your new leaders, America. Welcome.
Well, propose, because don't they have to go through selection?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They are the cabinet of the clan. I mean, this is wild. Did you actually, is the guy there that wrote, is one of the authors of Project 2025?
No, he's not, but have you seen that? I've seen something that he I forgot to add him on. There were so many, I got lost in the source.
Yeah, so he's
been saying that. Yeah, go on, sorry.
He's been added as well as a potential.
Yeah. I saw something as well that saying that they're implementing Project 25. They've already started. They're going to introduce religious teachings into 1 or 2 primary schools. That's being suggested, and that's where the Project 25 brainwashing is going to be unleashed, allegedly.
I watched somebody actually really go through everything that was in the manifesto and go and actually dissect that this has been in place since the 80s. Like, they have slowly been doing certain things from Ronald Reagan, actually. And one of the first documents that was produced, Reagan basically had his whole entire presidency running from this document that was from a similar fraction of Project 2025. So it's like, this has been going. So obviously, yes, that's why white supremacy hasn't ended, because they're all complicit to what they're driving for. So I don't even know why people are so scared. It's like, we've been living under this regime anyway.
Yeah.
All it is now is that you can read it in document form. Like, but you know, it's been there. This isn't crazy, scary to me in any way. I don't think his cabinet before was much better. It was still full of clowns. So, you know, let's see what happens. But I don't think this is a time to be any more fearful than you should have been before. And really, if you have an exit plan, do your exit plan. Like,
well,
it makes me laugh that the people that he's putting in charge of some of these very high profile positions have no experience in it whatsoever. None whatsoever. Linda McMahon is in charge of education. She ran WWE. So what do you know about education?
Right.
What do you know?
But can't he say the same? And he's been like elected. People.
That's my point.
Be believed. But what was it? It was like 72 million people did strike for Trump. Like, they did put their little tick by Trump. So he can say, he could be like, look, but I can do it. I have so many failed businesses and people still think I'm a great businessman. So
and the reason why it's seeming like, why not? Because you've had supposed officials who've qualified, gone through all the education, and done all the political naturalized routes of becoming a politician, and they fucked up. They've also been exposed of being deviants as well. So then when you've got an organization, when you've got a leader that's like, I don't have the experience, and you know what? So what? Because look at what's been done before. it's going to be really hard to argue against it because we've had generations and generations of politicians who've had all the right things, ticked all the right boxes, and still fucked up and still not improved the world as it stands. So that's what makes it easier, an easier acceptance.
So far, is it just the one Asian guy, Vivek?
No, there's a black guy. There's a black guy. So there is a black guy.
One that was, what's his name?
Turner. Scott Turner, and he's housing and urban development, and he is an ex-NFL player turned politician.
Okay.
This is Scott. I mean, he's a... Let's show Scott. This is your black man that you need to be wary of. There we go, Scott Turner.
He's giving me, not in that picture, but there's another picture that he's giving me OJ vibes.
Yes,
I was even thinking that from the side one. I can see a little OJ-ism to him.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yep.
Look at him.
Yep. OJ vibes.
Oh, so Vivek, that's sad.
He's the first black person selected to be the member of the Republicans cabinet. And let's go and have a look at Vivek. Good old Vivi.
Apparently, he is in partnership with Elon for the same role, so he'll be Elon's assistant. And isn't he a legitimate politician?
He was a founder of...
He's not even American. He's not even American.
Oh, Vivek. Well, at least you got a position, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. That's Vivek. He was the founder of Roivant Sciences, speaks at the Forbes under 30. Okay, yeah. He was a a money man. Hedge fund analyst, a biotech executive. And his net worth is hundreds of millions. Yeah.
So let's just look at Robert F. Kennedy. It says, despite having no medical qualifications, Kennedy would have broad remit over U.S. federal health agencies, including those of what oversee approval for vaccines and pharmaceuticals. Yep. So yet another way of him making money, no doubt.
And he's an anti-vaxxer. And
he's an anti-vaxxer. He's a pro-lifer.
Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Why not? They're not going to argue because there's people like, yeah, we don't trust that big government that's in our meddling in our lives. So go for it.
I mean, the only thing that he could, if he does it, but what he's always stood on is that he was going to get rid of Big Pharma. He was going to put more money back into people's hands, and that they wouldn't be able to charge silly money for medicines. That's when he was a Democrat, what he would always say he would do. So let's see if he does that. I don't know how you can go against Big Pharma in the Republican Party when it's being funded by it. But I don't know.
I don't know how you do that. Go on.
I was just going to say quickly, and he's also advocating for the FDA to be kind of revamped because no Americans chemical levels in their food and stuff. So those are little bits that he's saying that like someone would be like, you know what, I'm inclined to see where he goes with this.
Yeah. Another big person in the Trump cabinet of clan clowns is Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Now, Energy Secretary Chris Wright is an executive for the oil and gas industry. He is the CEO and founder of Liberty Energy and has called climate activists alarmists and likened Democrats Democrats renewal. Basically, he said that people who want to do climate control, they're like Soviets and communists. In part of his campaign, he said, drill, baby, drill.
Oh, God, he's one of those.
He is.
Yeah,
well, he's got an energy company.
Right in. Yeah, he would fit right in because that's what they all think until it ends.
Speaking of climate change, they recently, hold on one second, let me get it to the beginning. So what's been going on is the COP29, COP29 in Baku. Where is that? What country is that? I've forgotten what country it is. Anyway, wealthy nations have been pledging $300 billion annually by 2035 to help developing countries adapt to climate change, a significant increase from a previous $100 billion. However, many developing nations who wanted $1.3 trillion dismissed the deal as insufficient. Basically, this is what they were saying. It's a crock of shit, basically.
Representatives of the least developed countries and small island nations walking out of negotiations at the UN's annual climate summit in Azerbaijan.
I've called for suspension of the of the meeting until our views, our inputs get reflected are reflected. Yeah.
The walkout coming as the summit entered its first day of overtime. It was set to wrap up Friday, but is now into extra hours as negotiators from nearly 200 countries attempt to adopt a climate funding plan for the next decade that would see wealthy countries offer assistance to developing nations.
We are calling for an ambitious figure that will take us up from where we are.
The G20 accounts for more than 80% of global emissions, yet small, underdeveloped countries tend to bear the brunt of climate change. Therefore, a major focus of the summit has been to finalize a deal that would see those latter nations receive annual installments to help combat their climate woes. Earlier in the week, the EU, the US, and other wealthy countries raised their offer to $250 billion a year, but it was shot down by delegates. Then on Saturday morning, the number was raised to $300 billion a year, but that still did not achieve a mandatory consensus.
It's a very difficult moment. There is half of the world just walk out, or a very important proportion, and we need to engage deeply in negotiation. There is dissatisfaction from the South around the quantum and around some of the conditions that are in that text. I think that can be solved, but it requires political will and mobilizing.
Those who walked out say they're frustrated that the proposed deals lack inclusivity, adding that the suspension of talks is not to end them, but rather rebuild the conversation to include the interests of developing nations. They're hoping to reach a deal amounting to $1.3 trillion a year, a number that is agreed upon by some climate experts. If the gap in numbers cannot be bridged, experts say there are two possibilities. One being that the meeting is adjourned temporarily until next January, and two, financial talks get pushed entirely into next year's COP30 summit in Brazil. For City News.
So their key issues, as they mentioned, was there's insufficient funding, the impact of climate disasters, their voices are being ignored, and the failures of developed countries are lack of commitment. Wealthy nations have not delivered on the financial aid anyway, so they can agree to all these billions, but they don't give the fucking money anyway. They're required to meet the Paris Agreement targets, citing economic constraints and global conflicts like the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, which they're instigating and got a hand in. Tactics of attrition. Developed nations are accused of dragging out negotiations, exhausting less resource delegations into conceded to smaller aid packages. So they're bullying them to kind of like take whatever they can get, especially those who are more desperate to accept any type of money. And much of the proposed 1.3 trillion funding relies on private investments, reducing guaranteed support from government resources. It's a crock of shit, and I'd walk out too.
It is all false. And all of these things, I lose hope on all humanity. Like, these conferences cost so much, millions go into it, nothing ever comes from it anyway. If the last time you was there, that hasn't been agreed on, it doesn't matter. Even if they did say they are going to give you $1 trillion, are they going to do anything about it? Like,
my thing is how do all these countries, every country in the world talking about economic decline, economic this, economic that, but yet you can now agree to $1 trillion, to some sort of trillions. Where this is when you know that the world is run on a myth. Finances are a myth. You're just going to add numbers to a thing like, yes, we'll give you $1 trillion. How and where and which private investors have that amount of money to commit to solving the poorly developed, purposely kept underdeveloped countries, to bring them out of the brinks of a climate disaster, when it's the Western countries that are literally draining all the resources and causing this? Yeah. They are suffering because the West is thriving and draining them. But yet they're going to pretend to get, and then also cancel world debt, all the things that you know that you could do to stop this, you're not going to do.
That's all. 80% is just crazy. But you see, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even think this is so solvable with the type of human beings that we have on this planet at this moment.
Exactly.
It isn't, because a lot of them, or they think that climate change is a myth anyway, or they don't care because they won't be around to suffer, and they understand that all of the shit that goes into waste doesn't end up on their doorstep. So they don't give a fuck about it until the underdeveloped countries of the world can no longer take the influx of waste that is given, and climate change starts going further north. They don't give a shit. They don't care.
And when you have world leaders like Trump and people dismissing the severity of it, it's like nothing will change. Nothing really will change. There's very,
a documentary on Netflix at the moment where I'm going to get the name of it. I was watching it yesterday, and it's like all the big brands, former executives of the big brands are talking about the waste and the lack of care when they're making these products. They said that a month, Zara was responsible for 3,600,000 new items, and Shein is responsible for 1.3 billion a month. New items a month. There's no reason for us to have all of that stuff. There's no reason whatsoever. Sanctions are not put on any of these people to stop them making it. And where does it end up? And this is like phones. Hang on, let me see.
He's saying, is it this one where stop
What's
shopping?
The name of it?
I think it's called Stop the Shopping Conspiracy.
Hold on, I'll find it. But even in this documentary, it's just one small part of it, because they're talking about products and things like that. But there's so many other things in the world that these people are responsible for. Like, imagine these people had an interview with the president of Guyana, because Guyana are going to start like getting oil from their resources, right? And Guyana are net zero. Other countries in the world who are drilling and doing all sorts of things all over the world are not net zero. And they try to have a go at him, because he's doing it in his country, and he's making sure that his country remains net zero. But because the profits aren't going to them, they've now got a problem with it.
I think it is this one. Let's have a look at the trailer. Get support.
No, but it's a really good documentary, and like the parts where you can see the waste and everything in normal society, it's a highlight, because this is where it's going to end up. They talk about in the documentary how, and we all know this as well, how companies are now making products so that they only last for a couple of years, so that you're forced to make it again. There's a man who set up a company, and it was about ways that you can fix the items that you have. And like big brands like Apple and everything have tried to sue him and stop him from being able to make these fixes to people's products. They've gone as far as to glue on your phones so that they cannot be opened and fixed, to change the screws from your normal traditional Phillips screw to a screw that they've only made, so that there's no way of fixing this item. I mean, I know for a fact, when I first got my flat when I was 20, I bought a washing machine, and that washing machine must have lasted me about 10 years. Since that washing machine broke, I cannot tell you the number of washing machines that I've had that have not lasted the same amount of time. It's pathetic.
It's always like 2-3 years. It's basically like our mobile phones. And then you have to change it. Remember when we had fuses that you could get into on a plug?
Yes.
All you do was change the fuse, and they remove that now. You can't just and get back into the plug, change the fuse, and then it works again. It's like, it's so crazy, but this is the insanity of this world, because you're doing this like you don't know. You absolutely know that it's a capacity for any planet. It can only last so long. You know this, but you're here basically destroying the world.
Yeah,
for
they don't care.
Fictitious thing is money. Like it's so insane. This is why I can't believe that they are real. Like it's like this doesn't even make sense in any way. Like it's lunacy. So it has to be something else, because it's mad. We were sent a message. I mean, this was just yesterday, and the lady it's a video that was put on The Guardian. I'll share it now, and it's basically showing the real landfills in Ghana at this moment. That it's just full of clothes.
Nana.
Literally full of clothes.
Yeah, and it's just so sad.
Let me sorry this talk. Oh, can you hear?
Yes. This is Joe at the Jamestown Beach now, right in the heart of Accra. Right behind me, you could see a mess being created by this excess of waste that are coming to Ghana. This is where myself and a team are doing a weekly cleanup. We have people digging out a lot of huge tentacles, close intertwined with each other, with the currents and the waves. We clean over 25 tons on weekly basis. This is as a result of overproduction. Fast fashion is really causing us a lot of damage. Each week, 15 million secondhand clothes are imported here in Ghana from all over the global north, and this end up in Kantamanto market, the largest secondhand clothing market in the world. A lot of upcycling, repurposing go on at the market, but still 15 million on a weekly basis is too much. And out of this 15 million, 40% end up at landfills, and most of these leach into our water bodies and they are washed into the ocean. Most of these clothes are being brought out by the fishermen. Instead of fishes, they are catching clothes. I have stayed along the beach for over 35 years now. And so I have seen the increasing in this kind of waste. This beach is no more safe to like kind of swim. Turtles no more come to shore to lay eggs. Because of the rise in fast fashion, brands are using cheap plastic. Plastic is very difficult to decompose. And so these fishes feed on these plastics. Indirectly, we feed on plastics. We pick water samples to test for microfiber pollution. And you see there are so many particles of microfibers in them, and it's going to have a lot of health implications. We've been cleaning for over a year now. This is
it's like they're sweeping sand. It's like they're sweeping sand because you cannot get rid of it.
There's a group of guys called the Bus Stop Boys in Ghana, and I think I discovered them either when I was in Ghana last or on the way when I came home. They're doing an amazing job, like trying to clear out the gutters, and people are like, you shouldn't be doing this. The government should be doing this. They're getting more and more recognition as they're doing more and more, going around Ghana just tidying things up. But again, it's on the backs of the people, while the governments are playing games, pretending to go to the COP and go on jollies and conferences that don't do anything, don't actually resolve. Because there should be more. I know it's difficult, but even for the countries that are on the receiving end of this nonsense, there should be stringent barriers. And I know it's difficult.
It's a trap as well, because when you're here in these Western countries, and you pack up your secondhand clothes and you give it away to charity, you go to the supermarket and you put it in those big boxes, and you're like, you feel better about yourself, don't you? But look where it fucking ends up, in our back in our homes. That's where it ends up, and then it's them that has to deal with it.
And that's what there
should be a cap on the amount of things that these companies can actually produce. There's no real amount that they're not being watched.
And also because that's the thing we used to do, like have suitcases. My daughter's grandma, she sells clothes, so she specifically directly asks, bring stuff because I will sell it. But when you look in the markets of Ghana, like especially just specifically in Ghana, so many rows and rows of market traders that are just selling these rundown clothes, secondhand clothes, and where does that end up when you can't sell them anymore? And it's just a horrible factory line of I don't know what the word is, like fake benevolence. Like you think you're saving something, but you're not helping. And then we definitely just spoke about Band-Aid and Bob Geldof and their misdirection, white savior complex behavior, guilting people, thinking, oh, we've got to go and do this. But where's your money going? Where are your donations going?
When you watch that documentary, you'll also see the things that they do, these massive companies, to even stop helping the people on their home turf. So there's all this food waste that could be given to the homeless. There's all these items of clothing that could be given to the homeless. And what they're instructing their staff to do is to basically, there was one clip and the woman said, there's all this food, and they would tell us to pour coffee beans, wet coffee beans all over the food so that homeless people don't eat it. And they said to her, we don't want to be known as the company that helps the homeless or feeds that is aligned to the homeless.
I never understood that when you've got, because I know I can't remember the app. There's an app that way.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, like there was one that I was made aware of that you can just get, at the end of the day, get the food from restaurants, whatever, at a cheaper price because they're going to get rid of it. But the fact that it's actually almost illegal for companies to share their food that they don't use is ridiculous. Like, why would you make that illegal, knowing that you're struggling as a country that can't even feed? Bob Geldof again, turn your sights on the UK and the poverty here. I don't know.
No,
Too Good to Go is one of them.
Yeah, that's the one that I've got. I use that as well. The thing with even the app is it's still a bullshit.
Yeah.
Things that you can get, it's always smaller portions too. Like there's always still a bullshit to just being like, this is going to get thrown away, so we would prefer you guys take it. There's always something, sleight of hand in it, so it doesn't always work out. But my mum used to have a cleaning job in Oxford Street, so we would be on Oxford Street a lot, and then we became aware of outside of John Lewis and Debenhams there would be bags of clothing that was left, And so lots of the cleaners, like, and most of the cleaners, they're like Ghanaian, Nigerian, like they would know you could just go at the end of the day, it's probably about 2 a.m., get loads of clothes and send it back to Ghana. Once they cottoned on that was taking place, like actually the cleaner community had found out about all of the clothes that we were throwing out, then they started to rip them up. It started off, first of all, they may like do a part that could be sewn, like maybe the cuff, so you just re-sew on the cuff. But then they would do proper thorough slits throughout all the clothes. So then the cleaners would leave it because it was surplus to, nobody could use it. You couldn't even make any money from it. But so you'd prefer that it then goes to landfill instead of other people who were cleaning offices could make some money. That's how shit people are. You're on mute.
You're mute.
They pay the desperate companies to accept the stuff as well. So then that's the vicious circle as well. Like, if you take our rubbish, we'll pay you and keep you sustained. And this is where they're saying at the COP, where the smaller countries that are really more on their knees, they're like, okay, we'll take the deals. And it undermines the countries that are a little bit more self-sustained who want to go against it. It's always the way they pit the poor against each other so that there's never a consensus, because they always put them in a state of fear, where if we go against these big countries, we're going to be even more worse off. Whereas actually standing together,
we have so much in this world.
Too much.
The whole thing of when I'm saying like nobody needs to work for shit. We have too much. We all living couldn't get through everything that is being produced. That is food, that is clothing, that is electronics. Even if everybody on earth had 4 phones each, there's still more shit.
Exactly.
So it's like the insanity of making people waste their lives chasing something that doesn't even mean anything. Honestly, it breaks my heart.
And just like, and again, it's
so mad.
It's like, why do the rich want? Because it's, why do the powerful want broken people? And I understand power, hierarchy. You need to have the hierarchy, but I know it's capitalist, but just inherently, why? What's the point of having ruling over a sick, depleted land? Wouldn't you want an abundance of people that are thriving? You can still
they don't. Because if there's an abundance of people that are thriving, there is a power shift, isn't there? If everyone's in the same level, then they don't want that. It's twofold. They want you to aspire to be that, but they want you to never reach that.
I get it. It's just, I get it, but I don't. It's like it was more rhetorical. Like, what is this in your, like? I don't know. It's a weird human thing that's like, what is there? What's the point? You look outside and everything's grey. There's smog. Do you see the smog over India, where it's just I can't remember what the difference is of what's caused it, but there's literally thick smog through one of the cities. Can't see for shit, and that's it. That's what you're happy to have, people, your constituents. And then when there's no people alive, who are you ruling over?
It's
the cockroaches.
It's literally insanity. Yvonne says, my neighbor has just started a scheme where he sells leftover sandwiches, hot meals, etc. to us for less than half price, and then he donates the money to our local food bank. Even that we have food banks. You know what I hate seeing the most thing that actually infuriates me? I was saying this, like, I feel like we need like just a rant episode. But one thing I hate is I go into Sainsbury's or any of them, and they have the buy a toy appeal, or they have the buy a can of something and put it here and we're going to send it out.
When you're leaving the building, right?
Yeah, that's a mockage. You have all of the resources.
Exactly.
And I must use my little money and pay for something, put it in this, and you're going to do... I think
after you've just charged me £150 for a basket, basket full of nothing. Yeah. You want me to then donate. But when you could just donate 10% of your profits a week, you could do that.
I always side-eye that. I'm like, and sometimes you have that moment like, oh yeah, and I'm like, but how? What am I looking? I bought what I need because I need it. And then you're going to make me feel bad for going.
I haven't even been able to buy everything that I need because I cannot afford to, because it's so expensive.
And the fact they even do the yellow stickers, like the stuff that's about to go off.
I just will never.
Even that,
I see it and I'm like, what? Especially if I see somebody like going to their shopping bag and like put it in that thing that they put there. I literally am like, can you not see the insanity of where we are? Yeah. Everything is here. Like, and it's marked up. You've paid the markup. for them to have a profit to then give this to charity.
And even in the supermarkets, what you were saying, the best before stuff, we know that's not real. It's not real. like we never had that shit, not to the extent that it is today when we were younger. And they only do it so you're forced to go back into the supermarket and buy more. It's a fucking trap.
Someone said it earlier on, and it's always that, you know, when Black Friday's come in, and then you know that they mark up, they mark up the weeks or days before. So when you go there, you think you're paying them for a sale price. It's not a sale price. It's not a slash sale price. It's not even the original price that they got it for. You're still paying a markup. Gets me so. And even when in this, what was it the other day? I said to someone, and they said, "Oh, you get a discount." I said, "What? 10% in 2024? We get 10. What does 10%? I've never liked 10%. 10% is a mockery. Give me 30.
10% is a mockery.
10% is a mockery of any discount. Any discount.
My friend told me actually that she works in retail, and she told me that what they start doing in some of these places is just before Black Friday or any of the sales, they get the people to go around and start relabeling things.
That's what I said,
they may not necessarily have but I mean like in the actual shop, because they may not have time to do it. So it's just like you lot are just fooling us into this sense of thing, consumerism. It's just ridiculous.
Yes, and this part
is so bad.
So we're saying, oh my God, there's a part about recycling, and most of the packaging that we recycle cannot be recycled. Even that
cannot be recycled.
It can't be, because what the hell are they putting? That's the part. And even what the guy was saying in the video, that there's particles, and you can never get rid of all the damage, because all that stuff we're in. This is why there's cancer's high, so much sickness, and our kids are generally, the generations are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. No wonder the kids want to withdraw from society, because the fuck, we're killing them. We're killing our kids.
Well, it's like, you know, the
and I was thinking
metals they say actually goes into your brain, and that is a factor in the rise of ADHD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, the cloggings that we come here now with from being in your mother's womb, it's like we're all being brought up with these clogs from these things that is clothing. As soon as they brought in seasonal clothing, which now it's not even every season they change. Now it's kind of like every 4 weeks they bring in new items, and people follow those trends. That in itself is killing the world, and that's the same with food. That we don't have seasonal food anymore. You're always able to get what you can. The planet can't sustain this. So it is. Somebody earlier on said it's up to the individual. It's up to us to now change and not follow and not be so susceptible to marketing, to not be like, oh, you're being bombarded with things that you're being made super insecure. So you feel like I need to have, in my case, 50 blazers. I don't need that. But it's that the thinking, I need this, because
I can only
wearing the same thing twice. Like
God forbid you go somewhere and someone's got the same thing on as you.
It's even about, especially as us, we talk about it as well, us being in the public eye more and more and wanting to rotate through clothes. It is figuring out where your ego lies and where your insecurities lie. Because I think Luxury Law, the stylist, I think he said it, even though he's a stylist, so it's possibly counteracting what he does. But he was like, yes, let's talk about having celebrities repeating outfits. Yeah. And if they do it, it trickles down into society. Because the other day I felt pressure when I was doing the Wicked Q&A, and I wanted to wear something green. So I did order something from Zara. It didn't come same day delivery, which is another thing that's nonsense. It didn't come the same day. It came like 4 days after the event. So I was forced to look in my wardrobe. And then I looked in my wardrobe and I had something that was perfectly fine, got all the compliments on it. I've worn it before. And it was just that moment. And I had my rules, like if it doesn't come, if it doesn't fit, it's fine. I'm not going to break my neck, but I might just try this thing. But I didn't actually need to get it. And it's just going through those moments. And on 2 occasions, I was forced to just shop in your cupboard, because you just need to calm down for a second. You don't have to have all the looks all the time. But it is definitely difficult when you're out in the public eye.
It becomes so easy because of the apps. Something comes up. Yes. It's like one of the first things I will do is go onto Zara or ASOS and be like, oh, if there's something there. But yes, it is being very cognizant to, I have a wardrobe for the clothes. I can actually sew as well. I could change something that I have and remake it. And again, it's that skill set. It wasn't that long ago, everybody knew how to sew. And you were just making your own clothes. Or there was a seamstress that was at the end of your road that you went to.
True.
and they made something for
Yes.
you. Literally,
And it's like they say in this doc, it's because it is so easy. I can sit here now and just order something and it comes to my door. And I don't, when you have to physically get up and go to a shop and look around and all of those things and then take it home, and like, it's effort, isn't it? No one wants, or these people know that it's effort. So they try to make it as seamless as possible so that you end up buying more. Whereas if you went to a shop, you might buy one thing.
Yeah.
But if you're online, you might buy 10 things because in your head, you're like, I could just take them back.
Yeah.
But then sometimes when it comes, you don't even take them back.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
This is the Cat Rocks is saying I stopped doing pics on socials. I can wear my stuff as much as I want to. Bardi Gang says, oh my God, this is it. I stopped posting as much as I can wear things multiple times because your friends usually don't care. And it's even both of you, even in that, we shouldn't even be bound by that. You should be able to post your pictures. If you look cute in your shit, just wear it. And if you want to post. But that's the thing, we get caught. And then we start restricting ourselves and you're double thinking, you're triple thinking like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? We need to be free of not doing, because I think, have I done that? I haven't necessarily stopped posting because I'm shit at posting anyway. But probably if I felt like I wore this yesterday and I wore this today and I do this, and I need to post a picture about it, I might then feel conscious.
Yeah. But I just hate I hate the access points.
Yeah,
it's really annoying that, but also you need that to grow your brand. I just don't like the way society is. I'm one of those middle-aged people when I was younger that was like, you always thought it was better back in your day. But honestly, I understand it now. I understand.
Definitely the visibility and the hyper focus on everything and the scrutiny on what we do. It's too much. But at the same time, the advancement of life, I don't know. It's very difficult.
It's actually crazy. As Raven Cat Designs was just saying, even influencers on YouTube, when you watch their videos and they have so many items from brands. Yeah. It's a lot.
We were talking
again when they get the deliveries and there's just so many deliveries. It's actually sickening, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Literally had a conversation with my friend today because she just shared a link about an unboxing that an influencer did to promote Wicked. So he got a bunch of stuff, did a video, and I said I am looking, and I don't want to. I'm looking at an ice cream maker that possibly will have to be regifted because I was given, I won't say who gave it to me, to promote something. I didn't know what I was getting, to be fair, because sometimes they send like little gifts and biscuits and things like that and stuff that you can use. But this, I'm like, I've got this big old ice cream maker. Eventually, I can regift it. Someone's going to be like, oh, that's nice. I'm going to use it, do one ice cream, and it's going to be sitting there. And
on eBay, bruv.
And there's also that, put that shit on eBay. It's been sitting there. I've been saying that put it on eBay. Someone's going to buy it. Someone's going to use it once. Someone's going to throw it away. It's going to end up somewhere, broken parts. Maybe someone will use it. I'll think about where to give it and where. But it's just that thing of stuff and acquiring.
The machines are a problem.
Yeah.
Like the more bits and pieces, even just like the levels of an air fryer, you have one, the small one, then you're like, no, but I'd like the bigger one. So then you get the bigger one. There's 2 air fryers. Like, it's all of the extra machines. Why does anybody ever need an ice cream maker? But they made thousands of those shits and they're sitting in places. And it's like, that's all of the different blenders. It's like there's so many things being made that loads of people will never be able to afford anyway. And the people that can will have 10 of them in their houses for no reason whatsoever.
And then even sometimes with the house, you can't afford to buy the things that you need to make it in the actual thing that you have.
Because even I was saying to myself,
I've got a NutriBullet, yeah. I can't afford to buy fresh fruit and veg every day to use that NutriBullet. I can't afford to do. I think the last time I used that NutriBullet, it wasn't even to do a smoothie like that. It was like I was using it to make some sort of sauce, and I thought, it'll blend nicely in here.
And that's what I was looking at. The ninja cream is like, what else could I use it for something that we actually do? I think, can I make one? But I was like, Mum, you're not going to make soup in it because you'll break it. So there's that. Because also there's that thing when something comes easy, you don't have as much care because you didn't save up to buy it. You didn't spend your hard-earned cash on it. So I could actually, I'm just going to use this, and then it breaks and it gets thrown away. And it's nothing because I didn't spend my money on it either. Or if you get it at a convenient way. Well, I've left it in the box because I'm conscious of doing that as well.
If you
wild.
know, like there are so many deals that the electrical companies do. So they make a product range. They see that the people weren't feverishly buying it, and then they give it to other companies to do giveaways. They do that with TVs. They do it with phones. They do it with laptops. All of that, because it's so wasteful. Then it's like, we're going to do it in a bumper deal. You get your new phone, and then all of a sudden you're going to get a TV with that as well. And then you go and get that phone that comes with a TV that was waste, that sits in your house and is waste. It's just, why are we doing this to our planet?
Why? And also because
speaking about phones, look at what they've done with phones over the last few years. So you get a phone, it doesn't have a headphone jack. So it comes with earbuds, or you have to buy earbuds. But the earbuds, they make them, and this is so interesting because I've had 2 sets here. They make them so that the batteries die after a certain amount of hours. Yeah. So my earbuds currently, I can only use one side because the other side, the battery died, and I'm not buying another set.
I refuse. I refuse going to the earbud space just because I'm like, one, I know I'll lose them. So even that feeling when everyone started to get when Apple AirPods were the thing, it was like, oh, have you got AirPods? And I was like, I don't have an Apple phone anyway, so I can resist.
I've got Samsung AirPods.
No, I'm saying the start of it, when everyone was like, first of all, you had to have the Apple AirPods. So then you felt like, okay, if you can't have Apple AirPods, what's the alternative? All the other companies started doing their versions. And then everyone's looking like, you don't have AirPods. Because I will stick to the old school thing for as long as I can. I had the jack in my phone and I was cool with the old school headphones. Then I had to get an adapter. So I was like, I'm going to use the adapter. But then the adapter, they then took away the adapter port with a singular port, and then they said you have to put your adapter into the same place that you charge.
Yes.
So they decided to make it less convenient for you to stick to the old school way of doing things and not waste money, because I could get headphones for £10, decent ones, loud, control the volume. Now I've got to pay.
With that though, Aquaya, how many of those have you had to have? It's
no,
still a trap. How many
different
headphones and the adapters and all of those things?
But my point is,
which way you look at it.
Back in the day, because at the end of the day, if you want, there's an element of technology that's useful. So yes, being able to listen to my music on the go and just have my headphones in, spend maybe £10 on however long they last, versus now having to pay 60, 70, 80, 200, £300 for earbuds because they refuse to let you just spend £10 on a normal pair of headphones. That's the part where it's like, there's a point where technology is cool, and then it's like, then it becomes a consumer brainwash.
Because they bring it in like how our old phones would last for years, and then they're like, no, that doesn't make any sense, because how do we keep on making money from these people? So it has to get trashier and trashier and trashier until you literally are like, oh my god, it's 2 years in, why can't I even take pictures properly with my phone? I've got to change. It's so insane that this is the world that we're in. And then you have something like Elon Musk, who is now going to be effectively running a country. Like, it's nuts.
At some stage, they're going to stop making phone cases too. I predict it.
Yes, because
at some stage they're going to make it so awkward. I mean, they tried that for a while, and then, like, when there was a resizing of the phones, you couldn't really get different, like, bigger phone cases.
Yeah, the one side.
Do that. That's it. They're going to do that soon, because if you have a phone case, your phone is protected for like forever. Like, I've had my phone for about 2.5 years now. And if I open it, it looks brand new because I've had it in the case since I've had the phone. But they're going to stop that soon because they're going to realize, oh, it's still working. They haven't cracked the screen. What
always pisses me off, and I don't know when that started happening, is from having a phone, making cases where the edge isn't higher than the phone. Why would you do that? Why would you remove that design element? When I've had a phone, the old school ones used to have the raised bit. So even if you didn't want to have the case, the covering bit, the edge of the case would be high.
Flexibility.
But the case that we've got, though, the good thing about this case is front and back.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying.
But you're right. The majority of cases are just all.
And also, I succumbed to peer pressure when I used to have my briefcase covering. But those briefcase coverings, the ones with the front and the back, the old school leather uncle ones, my phone never got into problems. Getting this one, but the front and back one that Farrah is saying, that's a better one. But it's like, why would you make it so difficult to protect your fucking phone? And another thing that Samsung did that pissed me off, sorry to my rant, is that when I upgraded my phone, they were like, you have to get this tablet. And I was like, okay, I've been looking for a tablet for work anyway, so I didn't want to buy an iPad. Let me just get this cheap tablet. Do you know how bad that tablet is? So it's blatantly defunct, rubbish stuff that they had
Why
probably
did
an
you have
overload
to get it? Why was it
because
have to?
as part of the contract,
It's a part of a deal.
part of
This
the
is
deal.
what they do. This is what I'm talking about. That's what they is surplus stock, and then they'll be like, you have to
Oh yeah,
pay.
no, I know usually, but when I've done it before, maybe they've changed it now because, as I said, I've not upgraded for a couple of years. But when I've done it before, and I've got something like because I've got a tablet before as well, it wasn't under any contract. It was just like, here's the tablet with your phone, upgrade, and you get this tablet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I just got the tablet. I literally didn't have to. That's how my daughter had one of her first tablets.
I was like, I don't want this. I don't need it. And then I thought, okay, I could use it for work. They're like, no, if for whatever deal I was looking at, I was like, cool. Because you know me, and I'm always breaking my phones or losing my phones or something's gone wrong. So I was like, okay, fuck it, let me just get it. But then I was like, and the thing is, it's so shit. So anyway, I'm gonna end up throwing it away. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go and buy another one. And it's just like
it just became your issue.
Yes.
So where it was a warehouse issue before, then
exactly.
it becomes the customer issue.
You get rid of
it. Requirements, and they know this. They know that the product was shit, but it went through the conveyor belt, and now it becomes your problem. We have a couple of tablets like that here too. That is now our problem.
Exactly.
I've got a laptop. I've got a laptop from I don't even know when. I think this laptop is at least 15, 16 years old, but like it's just here. I don't even know how to plug it in. I don't even think I have the things for it. I just don't even know. Like, so it's just here. It's just in my house. But how do I get rid of it? I don't know.
Exactly. So, and also, they make it like you can't discard it in that way because then you're damaging.
Yeah, you can't throw it in the bin.
Exactly.
But they can.
But also, that not throwing it in the bin. It's like, okay, so what really happens? Because you know what I mean? They try and brainwash you. Can't throw it away. You can't do this. And then also, as we can see in the comments, you have the iPhone versus Android wars. You have then you buy
which
into
is a nonsense.
It's all nonsense. It's
all a nonsense.
And then another conversation that I'm seeing in regards to all of this is the way that you don't own anything anymore. Everything's subscription. We're
the
back
subscription model is crazy. It's actually crazy.
It's bad news.
They gave it to us, man. This is our lives until we all revolt against it. Yeah, and we will get to that point because there's a growing number of young people that are literally like, I'm not even interested in being online, or that it's there comes a saturation point, and then people are just like, it's not about that anymore. And we will get there. They will have to stop the subscriptions because we'll just be like, okay, I'm not going to watch it. Or there'll be a great site like LimeWire that will come along and it'll be brilliantly moody, and we all are just watching everything off of this moody site, and so they'll have to figure out how to trap us. But it will end soon. I've stopped paying for everything unless I need it. So I'm not paying all of the time for all of the things. It's only if I'm watching something, then I'm going to give you a month. I'm not going to continuously pay you.
Yeah, I've got
ridiculous.
There's a few things I'm paying for that I'm just like, oh fuck. I go between stopping the subscription and then re-upping it. When I'm linked, I'm going to use it a lot. It's wild. But yes, so in our quest to find somewhere safe to go, a few times we have spoken about going to the motherland. However, our good cousin, sorry, I'm going to have to find a way to do that without doing that. Our good cousin Davido has said, actually, don't come to Africa, bruv, because Africa is not great itself. Let's see what cousin Davido has to say about coming to the continent.
Entertainment, the economy now is in shambles. Like,
but if people are leaving,
I do my part.
Yeah,
I'm an ambassador. So when I go home and I'm filming and showing, I'm not gonna show the bad parts. I ain't gonna show all the bad
You're not gonna try to slum. You're not gonna show the trenches.
No, I go to the trenches.
Yeah.
I film the trenches, but I'm talking about the situation in the country.
Yeah,
we Nigerians, you know what I'm saying? Like now the exchange rate is messed up. A lot of stuff not going well. You know what I'm saying? The economy is just not good. The oil prices are too high. And imagine a country that produces oil. We produce the oil, and we pay more money for oil than a country that's importing the oil. You know what I'm saying? So there's stuff like that. But regardless, entertainment is one of the things that's made Africa look good.
Yeah.
We do not like my country now is in
is that how he speaks?
I was just like, this is because I would listen to him like,
oh wow,
an American accent.
Because I couldn't even really hear what he was saying because I was just
It
like,
was cutting out a lot, but yeah, and he was swinging around.
No, I don't mean that.
No, I know
his
his
American
accent. I get it. I think that happens. I'm not actually surprised of that because I think that happens very often. The minute they start going international and global, there's an adoption of some sort of hybrid, and it's usually American rather than British. It's usually an American accent. It's an easy segue. That's not surprising to me.
Dami's saying Davido is American and Nigerian, born in ATL. What's he?
Thank you, Dami. I never knew that. Maybe I've just never heard him speak. Maybe I just always hear him sing.
No, but someone's saying he was born in Akata. No, okay. Whatever the case is, This is not surprising to me. This is. I think this happens a lot with Africans. I think even. No, Burna Boy's got
it happens a lot with people.
Yeah. Burna Boy has he switches though with like
British and
yeah, and that kind of makes sense. But what I thought, why I was surprised is there's usually more of the hybrid. It's, like an Africanized American accent. I was expecting to have that, and he didn't. He just sounds American. So I was really like, that's surprising. I just didn't think he was like. I thought it was more of an African twang, but maybe I've heard him around Africans talking, so he puts on that voice. I just didn't know that he was a switcheroo.
I heard the twang. I didn't think it was straight American either. For me, in my ears,
I heard the twang, but I did hear more American. But I did hear a twang, definitely. But I just didn't. I like Nana. I really didn't expect him to sound like that. I don't think I've ever heard him speak. If I think about it, or if I have, maybe he was around other people. But yeah, that surprised me. But to think about what he was saying, how do you guys feel about what he was actually saying?
It's not a lie. It's just like, because I get if you're a celebrity and you're trying to rebrand the negative connotations of back home, whether it's the Caribbean or Africa, you're going to highlight and celebrate the best bits. And yes, the artists are the visual representation of that country. And yes, all things great. Africa's not flies on distended bellies and poverty and all that type of stuff. But the flip side is, yeah, you guys can be like, yes, let's go back home to the motherland. But there are definitely economic struggles and things that aren't as pretty once you get there. So understanding that, if your exit plan is to go back home, then you just really have to do your research, because it's not as just going to turn up and think you can even bring your Western ways. It's not going to work in that immediate way. You have to be clued up. So
I think he needs to sit down and have more conversations with Fuse, because this isn't a conversation. That in-house this isn't. He didn't need to talk about this for it to go viral. It's like it's there. But you use what you're doing to rebrand Africa. That's what you say you do with your music. That's what you're doing. Now, what's going on? You can then be like, with my influence, I'm going to speak to governments about this. I think we don't need to make this talking points on pods. I think it's that the rebrand of it we've got to do it in phases. Yeah. If you think about it, it's like Project 2025. They've been doing their phases, innit? And nobody weren't talking about it. There wasn't that guy who was the author wasn't going on any type of media and talking about this is our phase that we're going to do for America. We need to be more closed and in-house in what we're doing.
But it's like what you said.
It's a problem. It's a problem. The oil prices and people being charged that is a problem. That doesn't need to then be the world's issue to talk about, to rebrand Nigeria as a shit country where they're exploiting their people. That too can be happening. Within that country in your sphere, you talk about it.
But this is what Fuse said when he was on our show the other day. Literally that, Nano. Like, let's deal with the external shit first. Let's deal with how you lot are viewing our continent first, and understand that it is more than the shit that you lot spew, and it is a beautiful place. But and then let's deal with the politics and all of that in-house. Because yes, it does need to be sorted, but we don't need to go outside and be telling people that, because they're going to take that narrative and they're going to run with it. Oh, you can't go there because it's violent, or you can't go there because they don't treat their people well, or you can't go there because it's all of these negative connotations.
Someone says, which he has done during the end SARS movement. Davido spoke to local politicians and the government as well. He did say he's an ambassador for his country, but I think you're right in regards to there's finding the balance of. And I guess it's like when people are not actually politicians or being an advocate or, I don't know, spokesperson for their country about the political side of things, when that's not your day-to-day narrative, then you have to be really conscious of what you're saying on these places and be more prepared for going onto pods and being really clear about what you want to talk about and what you don't want to talk about. Because I'm sure, not to speak for him, but I'm sure he didn't think that possibly would be the reception. Like, actually, I shouldn't be airing our dirty laundry outside. Just be more cognizant of what you want to say on certain platforms, because it's fair to have a conversation, but remember that the world is listening. So I do
it's
agree.
also clickbait, isn't it? We don't know what the person, like, we don't know what the rest of the conversation was. That person maybe just clipped that part and put it out there.
Someone says, I used to respect Akon and the things he was doing in Africa so much until I heard him lie about South Africa. Can't trust anything these guys say. And that's the thing, is who's a spokesperson on behalf of, and what are they doing behind the scenes, and how, if you say, people have said Davido's a rich guy, it doesn't mean to say he can't be an advocate and a philanthropist and doing all those good things, but where are his interests when it comes to his bank account?
Bardigan says it's kind of like the views on Jamaica about it being extremely dangerous. That's not entirely true. If you move correct there, you'll be fine. Focus on the external things. Precise.
I agree, Bardigan, because there's dangers everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's that then. Jussie Smollett's case has been thrown out. How do you guys feel? The Illinois Supreme Court has overturned Jussie Smollett's conviction for allegedly staging a 2019 hate crime against himself, citing procedural issues after charges were initially dropped in exchange for community service. Smollett, who maintained he was a victim of a genuine attack, faced criticism when two men testified he paid them to fake the incident. The court ruled that recharging Smollett through a special prosecutor after the original case was resolved, breached a legal agreement. Despite public backlash, including from Chicago's former mayor, the decision emphasized the importance of honoring legal settlements. Smollett's case continues to divide opinion, with prosecutors alleging he staged the attack due to dissatisfaction with the TV studio's response to hate mail. Following this decision, Abimbola and Olabinjo Osundaro, the brothers who testified against Smollett, expressed their surprise that he has not admitted guilt. Abimbola Osundaro said, "We were taken aback initially, not because of the Supreme Court's decision, but because Jussie never admitted guilt." His brother, Olabinjo, says, "The real injustice here was the sweetheart deal that Smollett was given by Kim Fox's office at the beginning of it all." The brothers emphasized that their involvement was intended to help a friend, not for financial gain, noting that Smollett never fully paid them when they promised them out. They believe Smollett should take accountability for his actions.
Oh my God, I swear this thing will never end. It's so crazy. So basically, it's not that anything is being overturned, because he was already guilty in the deal that was first done. So it's still stated that he is of some guilt towards this. It's just that when he finally really got the full punishment scale, that's what they're overturning, because he'd already done his admission. We know we did it, innit? Like, the people that did the crime are like, we did it and he paid us. So I think it's cool. Let's let him move on with his career now.
He came to our film festival this year. He was a lovely lad. He showed his film. He's probably, we'd like to think that whatever he's been through, he's on the other side of it.
Yeah. He suffered a lot. He's like, he's not where he was before it. So I think it's...
However, I feel for the two black men, both dark-skinned, both African and living in poverty. They were taken advantage of, Cecil and Delon. I'd like to understand them more, but,
They're living in poverty. I thought they were like celebrity PTs.
Trainers. Personal trainers.
I don't think they were poor at all. They are definitely dark-skinned men. But other than that, I don't know that they're poor at all, really. I mean, maybe they would have lost their jobs because of what they got up in. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it is what it is. But he can go on his daily business. The next story is a bit sad, so gird your loins. A deaf man filed $3.5 million claim after a violent arrest. It is horrible. Let me see if I can get the story up. More cases of police brutality. And I think I've lost the video of it. So here we go. Am I sharing? No.
Will Smith said, I think that Juicy was their only celebrity client.
Oh, wow. And Juicy.
Juicy Smith.
In this video of this violent arrest, officers jumping out of their cars, then punching and tasering Tyrone McAlpin. What you haven't seen is this video, taken 90 minutes later, showing Tyrone in the hospital. This is not a police interview, but officers are recording him. It shows a doctor or nurse asking Tyrone about his injuries.
My face. The left side of your face? Okay. Were you punched? Did you hit your head on the ground? How did your face get injured?
Tyrone is signing at this monitor. On the screen, there's an interpreter.
The officers just took me down. I guess I was sitting on my face, and I told them I was trying to give it to my ears, like, hey, I can't hear pointing to my ears. I was just trying to show some gestures. And then the cops, and the cops had grabbed me, so I was trying to show, like, hey, I can't hear pointing to my ears, and they stopped, and they grabbed me. Okay.
Again, that's from Tyrone right after the arrest, before he's ever spoken to a lawyer. And to repeat, he says he raised his arms, tried to point to his ears, but officers grabbed him too quickly.
And I was trying to tell them that I was that I have a disability. Do you have any health problems or disabilities aside from being deaf?
Tyrone and his attorneys say he also has cerebral palsy.
So back when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I used to walk with a walker. Okay. And I had braces on both of my legs. Did you pass out? With the taser.
Tyrone told the medical worker he had trouble seeing out of his left eye, plus neck pain, chest pain, trouble breathing, and when moving to lift his shirt, he yelped in pain. Now, we also got more body camera video that explains a lot more about what officers knew before and after the arrest. So let's start at the very beginning. This never-before-seen footage shows what the first officer was told, heading to a trespassing/fight call from workers at a Circle K.
Aggressor, white female? Woo. I wonder what he said. What the hell?
Wow.
And that's a joke, by the way, body camera. It's a joke. I give you permission to laugh at the joke.
The officer joking with his own body camera is Officer Ben Harris. As he drives, dispatch clarifies the aggressor is actually a white man, something Officer Harris repeats to himself.
White male, 20s, gray shirt, blue shorts. White male, 20s, gray shirt, blue shorts.
Officer Harris then arrives and goes into the store.
Do you need him to leave?
Yeah, I don't want to come out.
The man claims he was assaulted by multiple people, and outside he points across the street. That's where Tyrone is walking.
You're alleging he assaulted you. Do you want him to go to jail?
Yes. He put his hands on me. I felt violent, and he was pushing me outside the door, and he was standing outside the door opening it saying,
why don't you wait here for me?
Harris conducts no follow-up with store employees.
Hey, buddy, stop where you're at.
Now, we've shown what happens next plenty of times. We're not going to play it all in this report.
Apparently he's deaf, so signs, so I don't know.
So let's get to what happens after Tyrone is arrested. As other officers investigate, they continue to learn that what this guy claimed was false. In fact, back at the store, Circle K employees say he also got into a fight the night before with someone else.
He got into it with somebody in the parking lot.
The white dude.
The white dude got into it with somebody in the parking lot. That person hit him in the face and busted his face open. So he bled, the one that made the complaint today.
Yeah, because we could see when she showed up, you could see the blood on his foot.
Okay, that was from last night.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because the one with the black guy today, they didn't even fight. I don't even think that he threw a punch.
They were doing the boxing stuff, yeah.
But they never did make contact. That they did. I'm telling you, we were all standing right here. The guy told him to leave. Like we were telling him to leave, the white guy wouldn't listen at all.
Right. That's what she was telling me.
Wouldn't listen. So then the black guy was like, "Hey man, leave."
This employee clarified Tyrone was actually motioning at the guy to leave.
He was to leave with his hands because he cannot talk.
The workers say people at the store know Tyrone. He lives nearby and comes often.
He always stands at the door and opens the doors for people. Got here, the black guy was here opening doors for everybody.
And that's his usual routine.
Yeah, he does that every day. Yeah.
Now, there's one more clip we want to show you. It's from Officer Ben Harris. Again, he's the first officer to go after Tyrone. At the scene, when describing the force he used on Tyrone, he says this.
Any strikes?
Oh yeah, head strikes. That's what broke my hand.
Head strikes.
That's different from what he said in court under oath when testifying to get criminal charges against Tyrone.
At one point, when I was trying to regain control of his arm, following his initial punch swings, it appears as though when I went to grab his arm, these fingers became jammed in his forearm and bent over all the way to my palm, as demonstrated like this.
After we broke the story, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office reversed course and dismissed the criminal charges against Tyrone. And in the coming days, his attorneys tell us they plan to file a notice of claim. That's basically the first step in a lawsuit.
All of that. Imagine what you have to have aligned in order for you to get justice. Yeah, so
I'm so infuriated by everything I've just seen and heard. I'm not surprised. I'm just infuriated.
Yeah.
He turns up at a place where, so first of all, you're driving to the scene of the crime. You've been told multiple times by the dispatcher what the person looks like. You've repeated what the person looks like. You've got there, you've spoken to the staff very briefly, you found that person, and then because they say, it was actually this man over there, points to a black man, you believe him straight away, and you go and jump out of your car, and then your first thing to do is wrestle him to the ground and tase him multiple times. Where was the care that you gave to the aggressor, the one that you actually turned up to? The care that you gave, what happened? Where was that? I didn't see you bring out a taser gun for him. I didn't see you wrestle him to the ground. I didn't see you do none of that shit. And then it transpires that all the staff are saying, no, we know this guy. We know the black guy. He comes every day. He was actually asking the person to leave or motioning to the person to leave. He's not the aggressor. This person, the white guy, he's done it multiple times. It's him that was here yesterday. This is all the things that happened. Where's that? And then you lie and say that he was swinging punches and you broke your hand because he was swinging punches and he resisted arrest.
Like the level of even the swiftness that they came to him, you didn't hear him. You didn't even wait a second, 10 seconds for the guy to even motion. I can't talk. Like I have to sign language. You didn't even. You literally just went. We are grabbing him. The joke that you purport to be a joke, like you knew, depending on what I'm going to walk into, this is going to go against me. So already you know of your biases, you know of your training, you know that this can. So you jumping out and attacking a black man, that's form for you guys. That's form. It just so happens this black man that you attacked happens to be disabled. So now, it's going to get some traction. But if he wasn't now if Tyrone was able-bodied, may even have had a little run-in with the law 5 years ago, we wouldn't even have this news story.
You lied under oath.
It would have been seen as this is justified. I am at a loss with this. He
lied under oath.
He lied under oath just for bants. And the fact that he had the description in advance. First, they thought it was a woman, and then it was very clear, a white man in blue shorts, blue t-shirt. Where you had the description of the aggressor. Yes,
that's
somehow.
Away, innit?
First black man you see minding their own business. That's what you jump out at. Just inherently.
No. Because the white man who was the aggressor pointed across the road at this black man.
They said he pointed across the road, but it wasn't directly. And when they saw Tyrone walking, they assumed that they just assumed. Because I think they said that he just pointed across the road. The guy's over there, but not particularly specifically at Tyrone. So that wasn't even an identifier. It was just he vaguely gestured.
But you've turned up for him.
Exactly.
He said, all right, you just wait here. He didn't put him in cuffs and say, sit down, I'll be back. To his colleague, you stay with him while I investigate. He said, my man, you wait here a minute. Let me go see where this black man is. That's what he said.
But how can you have the description is this person is the aggressor, right. This is who they're calling about. You have him there. Why are you doing any more this person you placed into your car?
And what does it matter? Why does it matter what he's got to say to you? Why does it matter? That's what the police station is for, no? For him to say, well, go on when you question him. Is that not what it's for? You've been tasked to turn up and arrest this man. Yeah? You've got his description. You found him.
Right.
Fucking hell.
Exactly, Celine Dion.
Meanwhile, actual Nazis are marching in their streets protected by cops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are black folk ready to leave this place now?
Listen.
I was doing their little mass exodus, but are black folks putting their resources together to be like, we don't need to be in this country anymore?
Me too. It's what I was at a dinner the other night, and it was with some black and brown, mostly brown creatives. It was and a lot of them are from America, and a lot of them like we've moved to the UK. We are moving to the UK, and one woman in particular says, "No, it's very, very bad out there. It's very bad in America. We're leaving. I've left. Families leaving. They're leaving. I mean, I don't know how en masse it is, but there are quite a few people that are significantly, because if they're brown and black, not staying here, not staying in America right now. It's bad right now." And I think I saw something on socials where there were people like Ku Klux Klan neighborhoods or whatever sticking up like posters saying your time is done to any immigrant, like, where they think there's some immigrant populations. They were sticking up posters and saying your time is done. We're coming for you.
It's so funny that they even put in posters up saying if you're an immigrant, your time is done. Do you not know that you're an immigrant? Do you not get it?
They don't.
Do you not fucking understand this thing? You are not indigenous to the place where you are at. You're not indigenous to that place. Fucking wild. This is all psychotic. All of them.
That is like that, to go through that process, and you can see even when he's doing the interrogation, he's like thinking, fuck, because as he's saying to the woman, so the black guy, he wanted to say the white guy.
No, that was somebody else. That was a different police officer.
What, they all in conversation?
The one that when they're in the back of the kitchen or whatever that was, because the report said that was a separate team that went to ask the questions. Because he didn't even ask questions of the staff. That's the point they're making. He didn't even choose to do it. That was a separate investigating team that did that.
But even when he was the ones that the staff have actually said, this is the guy that's the aggressor. If you go and speak to the aggressor and he's now saying it wasn't even me, it was somebody else, you would take him back into the shop and be like, what took place? That would just be the easiest thing to do. Very simple, quick.
How are you believing him? I thought even the team that went in to ask the questions, maybe they would have really okay, shit. They're all band together, brothers in solidarity, the boys in blue.
But imagine they tried
left in it. They know, from when they had to taser him, this one's broken his hand. This is escalated to a stupid point. We have to find out what.
So that's
and the way he was asking
why.
That's
also why they flipped it and made it so that they're going to arrest my man, the black guy, and put charges against him. Imagine. This white guy who was the aggressor, not the white guy, the police officer who was the aggressor in the situation has gone to court. They filed charges against him. Knowing that you got body cam footage, you filed charges against him, and you've gone to court. And it's only when the body cam footage is released to the black man's legal team that you then take back your talk and you say, actually, no, we're dropping the case. Because there is no case.
There is no case. And he should definitely get that money.
Flipping crazy. Bissy says, there's a reason you never see Nazis, KKK, and cops in the same room. The same reason why you never see Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana. Precisely. Absolutely facts.
Jesus crumbs. But anyway, that was just horrendous. But, as I bring up the Lord's name, St. Peter's Chapel in Lucerne, Switzerland, has unveiled Deus in Machina, an experimental installation featuring an AI-powered hologram of Jesus Christ in the confessional booth. Guys, are you ready for the religion to go?
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Just right.
Digital
as well. Don't know.
Sorry, I've got it on mute.
Digital age with a surprising twist on a centuries-old tradition. Introducing AI Jesus, a virtual version created to offer spiritual advice. Part of an innovative art project called Deus in Machina, this digital figure listens to visitors' concerns and responds with thoughtful guidance rooted in the teachings of the New Testament. While the project has sparked intrigue, reactions have been mixed. Some find the responses profound, while others feel the experience lacks the human touch of a real spiritual guide. As AI becomes more integrated into spiritual spaces, religious leaders and tech giants like IBM are exploring the ethical implications of these innovations. The future of AI and faith is full of potential and a lot of unanswered questions. AI in spirituality, an experiment that could reshape the future of faith.
Wow. Wow.
Well,
they really want these robots to take over, innit?
They do in every way.
You
In
want
every
that
place.
Okay.
I mean, do you need? You don't. You don't need virtual confessional. You do not need an AI confessional. You just don't need it. You just don't need it.
Isn't spirituality supposed to be about what you feel as well? Isn't that part of it?
Yeah.
You need to see someone to believe. Is that what it is?
Exactly.
I'm so confused by this shit.
And
why does Jesus always have to look like some white man? Like why?
There's that.
It's like, not accurate.
He's always some sort of handsome. Do you know what I mean? Like, never been.
Yeah, how do we know that that's what he looked like? How do we know this? How do we know any of this?
Leonardo
da Vinci.
Yeah, he's the one that came up with that.
Yeah. But
So
then there's a
we're
whole
basically going on
conspiracy about that as well.
His imaginings of what this Jesus looked like.
And the conspiracy of it all is that, like, this always gets me, and I'm a practicing Catholic. Yeah, I've got issues with Catholicism. I'm just going to say that, but I'm a practicing Catholic because that's what I know. Yeah, but every time I go to church, I'm a little bit like, I'm a Catholic that asks questions. But I always find it funny that the idea of Jesus in the image that he is, if he looked like that, they wouldn't have killed him. If he looked like that, the Romans would have been like, "Hey, yeah, let's go." Like, it's cool, isn't it? Because he looks like one of us. The fact that the Vatican is in Rome is wild to me. Like, this is where Christianity is. Like, where the representation of it all, you know. And the fact that the Christians are out there saying that if you're anything else, you can burn. All these things are wild.
Even
just wild to me.
It's all wild. And the basis of don't worship false idols. Even me as a non-practicing Christian, I know that very basic rule. Do not worship false idols. You do not need a fake version of Jesus to hear your confessions. You do not.
Isn't that what your priest is for?
False responses, as they're saying, the experience is not true because the thing's not real. You're getting generated formulaic responses. They're gathering all the responses they think that they know and giving you some churned out. And as you said, if your faith is that light that you need some generated responses in order for you to keep going in your life, then you're not really facing the problem at hand.
Yeah.
Your faith
goes hand in hand, isn't it? Because even a priest, he's only regurgitating information that has. All I'm saying is that you get people worshipping, listening to machines. When the machines start looking at humanity like they always do in all of the films, and then you guys are a liability onto yourself. We need to get rid of you.
Protect you.
Don't be surprised, because sometimes I was watching Atlas.
Yes.
It's actually all right, isn't it? She's all right in that film. Yeah. She's not bad.
Again, I always root for the robots. I was like, for real, kill a few million. Like, yes, get rid of them and let's see the few that survive. Let them repopulate and let's see what humanity is. I don't blame the robots for wanting to end the world.
I mean, and the fact that we program them to do that. Watch Marvel, watch iRobot, watch Atlas, watch The Matrix. You're told so many times what will happen. Like the hell.
It's what needs to take place. Maybe the robots are just another type of consciousness that they know they need to come and take over. Maybe that's what it is.
Exactly. I mean, the robots are just the next colonizers.
This is
Maybe they're going to come and say that they need to save us, which is the colonizers' term. We're savages, you know. You're uncivilized. You can't look after yourselves. And we need to help you.
Are they wrong? Are they going to be wrong?
When we have these conversations, we're like, this is illogical. All the stories we've spoken about have so much illogical nonsense behind them that the robots are going to be like, this is the data. These are the facts. This is the logic. Here we go. This is the end result. Die, you
So
fool.
it's like, in order to not have this planet evaporate into nothingness, because you guys are going to do that, we got to kill a whole load of you and reset. Maybe this is.
Listen,
I'm not saying the robots are wrong. That's what I'm saying.
No, but they,
What they know, they don't care that you're on their side, innit?
Oh, no. You gotta go first.
I don't know how you align with it.
she's I don't mean to cuss you, but like when the robots take over, Nana's gonna be like the Kemi for the robots.
The robots
She is.
have legitimate claim. Oh my God! I'm
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I don't know what I would do if I turned up to church and then instead of Father Albert, it's like this
An AI
mechanical AI hologram. It's crazy.
That'd be my first exit. No, sorry, I can't do this. I can't. And it's not even like the convenience of those who are infirm at home. There's not that. That's not the solution either. You just don't need that. Spiritual doesn't tie in with tech for me. I don't know.
No, it doesn't. It's supposed to be, literally spiritual, isn't it?
It's going to be a part of our lives in so
It is.
We can't even fathom what it's going to do. And that the way how they keep on showing people fusing together, it's going to happen. People are addicted to their phones. If you didn't have to have this device in your hand and it could just be in your brain, there are going to be billions of people that would be chip me up, Scotty. Chip me now. So we don't even know what humanity is going to be. And this could all be in our lifetime, where it would just be like, oh, that's a free thinking human, as in they haven't been chipped, but the majority may be chipped and they have aided thinking. And that would just be how it is. There's aided thinking people and there's free thinking. Like it's going to be wild.
Oh my God. Remember the book I've got? There's a book. I mean, there's loads of books. Obviously, there's a book I've not long read. I'm going to find it and just put it on a shelf. It's literally that. Literally, that's the world. We will be in that world. In everything, there's always the dissenters and the rebellion, and they're the ones that like holding on to as much humanity as they can because the powers that be have aligned with. They have bumped up the technology and thought, yeah, this is how we're going to go. This is how we're going to move the world forward.
Yeah, it's gonna be a standard because realistically, education does need to change now. With the advent of AI and our phones and information just being like that, other than teaching you reasoning skills and the basics to be able to use the technology, what are you teaching people? Because you could have the answer at the touch of a button. I don't even now have to type. I can just be like, tell me about blah, 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 and it's going to tell me all about it.
Yeah.
And in my voice and in my likeness. Like, we're not even going to need to. Like, we will have clones everywhere. Like, send my clone to that meeting.
Yeah. Will Smith says they will go for the people the most influenced first. So shits and gigs, the receipts, and all the other podcasters, meaning the aunties too. Hello.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that list if that's what's happening. I'm right not being in that list if that's what's happening.
We're very rebellious, but then saying that, we're advocating for common sense. So hopefully there will be some sort of, okay, these guys, it's true, the more power you get, the more they're going to come for you and try and like put the chip in your head and say, yeah, these people can control the masses. When you start seeing your favorite fave start saying some wild shit that you think they would never say, you have to then think, okay, if they can plugged in by. Mate. Okay. So, next story. We've got 5 o'clock. So, Malcolm,
I can go soon.
Okay, let me know. Malcolm X's family has filed a $100 million federal lawsuit against the FBI, CIA, and NYPD, accusing them of allowing the civil rights leader's assassination in 1965. We have a video. I'm going to share it, and let's discuss how we feel about this lawsuit against the assassination of one of the most prolific Black leaders.
We here today officially announce the filing of our $100 million lawsuit against the United States government, the FBI, the CIA, and the NYPD, who we believe all conspired to assassinate Malcolm X. It is not lost on us that justice has been delayed in this matter. And on this momentous occasion, we stand ready to lay out our complaint very soundly. We believe there is solid ground to go forward with this lawsuit at this time. Over the last 3 years, every day, every week, every month, we have been unearthing new evidence, evidence of people never having spoken before about what they witnessed during those turbulent times in the 1960s. The government fingerprints are all over the assassination of Malcolm X. And finally, we believe we have the evidence to prove it.
Oops. So,
I hope they. I don't know if they will be triumphant, but I want to hear all of the evidence that they found be exposed. And if that's all we get and they get out of it, that's great. But I don't know if they're going to get this money realistically.
Because there's a lot of admission that has to come into, like, there's a lot of admission that COINTELPRO and then it trickles into what they did to Martin Luther King. And it seems like it's like a known secret what they did to Martin Luther King. How it's a known secret that how the government have had meddled with the death of these prolific leaders. But it's just like, it's just been left to be, that's a part of history and it is what it is. To admit it would open up a heck of a lot.
And what would be the now let's say they did admit it.
I get you.
We have to be like, okay, what's the sleight of hand here? What are they? Why are they admitting it? And how do they want to change people's perceptions? And what are they trying to do to move us in this direction? So even if they did admit it, I would think that they would do it under the guise of somehow we are ending or lessening white supremacy's reign. Like it will be like this is the million carrot stick that they hand to people so that they believe that you can work towards truly being the richest person. Like that's how capitalism works. Like I think they do these measures of, look, just you can do it if you work as hard as Jay-Z and Beyonce say. Like you can do it if you it's never that simple. So if they do give them a payout, I still wouldn't believe that they've done it for righteous reasons. I would think that they're doing it to change perception, like they're not that racist when they absolutely are.
Will, do you mean NOI, the Nation of Islam, Will Smith? There's a mixing and rumor that obviously they had collaborators. There's always going to be people that they can buy and turn over and become informants and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the meddling in what happened and what they did to the Black Panther Party, they did it to Fred Hampton, they did it to all the prolific black leaders that we can think of that were assassinated. Every single one of their assassinations, though not confirmed officially, the governments had a hand in their demise, even if they used a black person to do it.
Yeah. I mean, even as recent as like with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
There's still the fractions. I want to say it was in Chicago, but it may be somewhere else. But it was government-led infractions within that. And it was like the CIA had placed people in to turn against the leadership and tried to put them on trial. And that was all orchestrated by the CIA. And I think it was like from 2015, they had been working with this fraction of Black Lives Matter.
Okay, but yes.
They were different then. It was under a new name and then it got adopted. But they were already infiltrating black organizations in this age where you'd think, they're probably not even watching black folk anymore. But they are.
They always
are. No, they're always watching. Watching.
Yes, also, yes, sorry, Free of Islam, the security. Yeah, that's right. You're right. The faction within NOI that did the security. But that is, again, they just tapped into the ones that they could kind of turn because they had in-house fighting as well. There was definitely political struggles and leadership struggles within the NOI as when Malcolm was a leader. And then he had, when he removed himself because he felt the pressures of what was going on, because there was ego and stuff going on, like fight for leadership. But all of that was easily manipulated by the powers that be that recognized his power was too great.
Yeah,
and they did that to every single one of them.
I mean, there's still lots of fractions that allegedly are out there that will say that Farrah Khan, the fact that they didn't kill him, he's been brought up, he's been placed in a safe zone of how you speak to Black folk. So you're not truly trying to galvanize or revolutionize, and they haven't been that way inclined for a little while now. They're not trying to be like, let's move here, or let's pool our resources, or let's create a whole new state. They haven't been talking like that. So that's why he's been able to grow into his old age.
Is Farrah Khan still not allowed in the UK?
I don't know.
Has he travelled?
He was banned from 2019 from the UK. I don't know if he still can't because he's not as prolific. I guess our new kind of vocal black advocate is Dr. Umar, but Farrah Khan was banned for a long time. But actually, he's been on the Breakfast Club. He has spoken out, but he's banned from certain countries.
Yeah,
but he's no longer the.
We can't take Dr. Umar.
No, we can't put him there.
We can't. No, I'm not saying he's. But he's the only person that he's got enough kind of skepticism around him where they're not taking him seriously, but they still be watching him, even if we take him for, depending on what side of his words that you align. He's the most prolific kind of commercial type person. But even that, he'll be watched as well, depending on how he's.
I'm sure. I'm sure he's a very smart man, is why he infuses a lot of pop culture and comedy into what he's saying. I think from people that have been to his actual talks, you're not getting the same person as we get online. And I think that is strategic and probably the safest way for him to do that as well. Maybe, could you throw Shaka Bars in there as a...
Shaka Bars, because he gets shadow. He talks about being shadow banned and having his words kind of censored and stuff like that. There's a few people out there that, even look at what happened to Ta-Nehisi Coates now, because the way he's been speaking so prolifically about what's going on in Gaza. But there's people that aren't afraid to speak, but then there's also people that once they start to have that thing around it, they get compromised in every step of the way. They start to have their reputation tarnished in some way, shape, or form. So Shaka Bars could be.
Trust me when I say they're watching anyone that says anything anti-establishment. They're watching everybody all the time. It's just how much of a threat they think that you pose to them.
Yes, what your influential scope really is. I would say Shaka Bars has definitely done a lot. He could win that phrase. Mr. Shaka Bars is too busy drinking coconut water and posting on Insta. I don't know. He's built houses. He's helped create definitely a movement of people at least even looking to investing in Africa. He has definitely done that. He's been influential. He's definitely an influencer.
He's just got his Ghanaian citizenship, hasn't he now? And do you know what it is as well? We're in this world of suspicion. We don't trust leaders, and we're definitely more scrutinized a lot heavily Black leaders that come out of this space because there's been so much distrust. There have been examples of people that have taken the money and run, and then it's like we have our own distrust of our own people. Like getting behind people is a bit hard. So even I've looked at Shaka Bars and like, I love what he's doing, but I also am like, is he for real? For real? It's so hard to sometimes just get fully behind someone and be like, yep, this guy is doing it or this person's doing it and we're going to back them. And then like what happened with the Black Lives Matter lot, that's just been disbanded now because of all the money things and financial things that went into it. Even what's his name with the waistcoat? What was his name? Not DeRay. What was his name? He became really prolific post George Floyd with the blue waistcoat. And I think he's been discredited now. Oh, the blue puffer waistcoat that he used to always wear. D-Roy. Guys, help me out.
I cannot think of who you're talking about. A blue puffer waistcoat.
Yeah, he used to always, that was just kind of became like his signature outfit after George Floyd and everything.
I was saying D-Roy Davis.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I think he's been discredited now, and he was kind of like the poster child of D-Ray McKesson. That's it.
D-Ray McKesson. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So where was D-Ray McKesson from? That's where that movement that was already there, they were infiltrated by the CIA.
Yes.
And so various of their leaders, well, a few of them actually got killed and some others were discredited. But this came out, some documents got leaked, and it came out the strategy that they had to actually denounce this base because they were finding that they were too powerful, that they were actually really making headway into really connecting African Americans together. Like they were too much of a symbol of hope and change.
Right. And they tried to, and they then tried to tie his sexuality into it, and then say he's dangerous to black men because he was he's gay. So there's all this stuff they did to discredit him. I lost.
It's so funny. I never put the blue waistcoat. I never really thought about it. It was more his face.
Yeah, no, it became a thing, and it's like even that. It's like you've got to, when you start to become a thing, a fad, and that's when they start to. So the blue, really, everything they try and make you into this fad to undermine what you're actually saying and all that type of stuff. Because his blue, he shouldn't really have been known for his blue bloody waistcoat. He really shouldn't.
I guess it's a bit like being a superhero, isn't it? They have a uniform.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That was the DeRay McKesson.
Let's see. Farrah Khan appealed the UK courts in 2002. Oh, is it?
With the help of Sadiq Khan when he was a lawyer. Okay.
Ta-Nehisi speaks more outwards than inwards. Black Americans need leaders speaking to them and unifying them. Fair?
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Someone says, oh, bare white people on gap years have built houses in Ghana, though.
Will Smith.
And when I realized what you said, D-Ray Davis is the comedian that's got multiple women. I just realized what you meant. Not that D-Ray Davis with his harem of women.
Oh, good. All right. We've done almost 2.5 hours. Are we ready?
We're done. Okay, we can go. Just last one, some nonsense, because we've had a lot of quite deep stuff. Did anyone see the banana that sold for millions?
No.
Oh, a banana?
Yes, a banana. I do have the did I not download the bloody story? Okay, well, yes. Here we go. Banana has been. Am I sharing? No.
Nope.
Let's go. Yep. To wrap it up, this artwork has gone on sale.
Comedian returned in full force to our galleries here in New York and has been widely admired by a huge audience. As an addition of 3 plus 2 artist proofs, one of which is part of the esteemed Solomon R. Guggenheim collection here in New York, we are excited for its auction debut this evening. And with that, we're going to begin at $800,000.
Wow.
For the banana. Here it is. Only at Sotheby's. These are words I'd never thought I'd say. $5 million for a banana. It's your expensive banana, Jen. And the hammer is coming up. This is it. Final time. Carly, don't let it slip away. $5,100,000. Fair warning now. All of our global bidders at $5,200,000. Here it goes. At the end of the global bid, it's slipping through the auction room of $5,200,000, and I'm going to sell it here. Fair warning at $5,200,000. Jen, the Catalan is yours. Congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. Paddle number 17.
I mean, even the people in the room are laughing at how ridiculous it is.
So it's by Maurizio Catalan. He's a comedian. A duct tape banana conceptual artwork sold for, it says actually here, 6.24 million. I know that's an exaggeration at Sotheby's. Purchased by cryptocurrency mogul Justin Sun, who praised it as a cultural phenomenon. While the sale highlights the intersection of art, memes, and digital currency, it has drawn mixed reactions, with many in the art world dismissing it as an insignificant in reversing the sector's declining fortunes. The broader art market remains sluggish, with sales falling sharply compared to previous years, and average returns in 2024 hitting their lowest since 2000. Experts note that the purchase reflects conceptual art's self-referential critique of value rather than any broader market recovery. Meanwhile, the use of cryptocurrency in high-value transactions, like Sun's use of TRX, continues to grow, further linking digital assets to luxury acquisitions. What say you guys? Is it fun or is it absolute fucking nonsense?
I'm gonna go in my fridge now. I'm gonna find something, and I'm gonna get some duct tape, and I'm gonna send it to Sotheby's. So let's see what we can do. I'd like 5 mil.
No, try and set it's just indicative of there. Too many people have too much.
But
Yeah.
also,
Crazy.
the world of cryptocurrency, that there was a moment where, you know, you dip into it, you think, okay, yeah, you're going to do this. But if you don't understand, it's also this made up world of money. And though it's becoming its value, it's still not real. So then there's now you can buy stuff with this fake money. And now it's the thing, you could be a billionaire in made up spaces, even more made up, and even more of a way to keep people out and keep people rich and keep people poor, that you can spend this fake money on a banana. And I think they say that you can replace the banana as it ages.
Of course you can.
When does it become the artwork that you originally bought? But then that means you just pay for a banana from Sainsbury's that you're just going to retake.
What is he? He's a billionaire, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can. 5 million is nothing. He can do that.
It's just jokes for him. It's funny. He found it funny. He saw it. He thought it was funny. He bought it. Can I just very, very quickly digress from banana talk, because it's something I've literally just seen. So there's a petition at the moment, which is calling for a general election because the Labour Party have gone back on all the promises they laid out in the last election. Watch this. Watch this, Kemi Space.
But then that means that Nigel Farage, who's carrying favour, she's going to clear the path for Nigel. If it's not Kemi, it's going to be Nigel. But Keir Starmer was
Yeah, I mean, there'll never be another general election, but let's see.
They won't.
If Labour MPs start losing their seats, they'll do a vote of no confidence on Keir.
Yeah, they will. It's gained more than 100,000 signatures in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, because the people don't know they're being manipulated as well at this point. So you're definitely going to vote for this because you know that you're just
hoodwinked.
You're being hoodwinked left, right, and centre.
Bissy says the West is getting the leaders y'all deserve.
It's facts, though.
Exactly. Can't even lie.
All right. So, guys, that has been news and absolute nonsense. Keep safe, guys. There's a lot of shit out there. What's everyone doing for the rest of their Sunday? Might go to the gym.
I need to eat immediately. I don't even know my children.
Simmer, are you okay?
Might as well do a 24-hour live, guys. I've been saying sometime it needs to be scheduled in.
We need to schedule
what we're gonna do. No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a Kai Cenat version.
We're not.
We're all gonna go to. We are. We're gonna go to someone's house. Might be Nana's, because Russ will make food. Let's do it in the daytime when he's feeling in a barbecuey mood.
Oh yeah, a little barbecue day.
A little barbecuey mood because we love a Russ barbecue, and you know, and then we can do a 24-hour there.
I was going to say because
be drunk.
Yeah, I was going to say because Kai Cenat's now come out and said he's got health issues because he's been doing 30 days. He's got 8 days to go, so I'm sure his body is shutting.
Oh, Bissy, are you in the group? I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to get the husband to take a picture now, and I'll put it in our WhatsApp group, and then you can tell me what my tattoo means. I actually had forgotten to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Are you guys in our group? Let me just add it. You've only got a couple more weeks to join our membership group, or next year you're going to be on a higher tier to be able to be a part of the group. So join. Sign
up.
$1.99.
Just $1.99.
It's currently cheaper than a bag of chips.
Let's see how long that cheapness lasts.
I know.
No.
Chips these days. God damn it.
That's why I said it's cheaper than a bag of chips. Chips are expensive.
They are so expensive now. It's crazy. It's basically like a tenner as standard. Sometimes it's £15.
If you get fish and chips, you're easily paying 15-20 quid for fish and chips.
It's never
dumb.
Crazy.
Could never.
It's literally crazy money. Yeah, we will do a 24-hour at some point. That will happen. I like that idea. Let's do it in summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not leave your house ever.
I mean, I don't know about. She lives in Moku, so
Just
I don't know about all
that's
that.
it. We become a new family.
Ashes,
I don't mind doing it in mine as well. We can have a gardening party.
Oh, Bisty, sorry, I keep on forgetting. You have told us this. Google products are banned in China.
Oh shoot!
I keep on forgetting. Sorry. All right, I will get the picture done and I'll put it on the community post.
I like to say that's not bad. $2.75 for small chips and £4 for large. That's kind of decent for this
good.
day.
It's good.
It's not bad.
Teeth.
So we could be cheap. We got to stay cheaper than these bag of chips.
Well, for the entry level, it will always be cheaper than a bag of chips, but we're gonna do levels.
Yeah, we are.
Because we're giving you guys a lot. So, yeah.
You know. Are you doing I'm a Celebrity tonight, Nana?
Yes, we will be back live straight afterwards. So
I am loving the I'm a Celebrity stuff with you.
It's like an hour or an hour and 20. The episodes are. I don't know. It's really.
It's because it's Sunday, so there's more today. There's more content for them to put in today. I think.
Okay. So probably about 10:30 we'll be live.
Yeah.
Friday was jokes.
I want to join you one day. Can I join you on a live one day?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, it was. I had so much fun on Friday night.
Yeah.
In the comments.
I've only watched one. I watched you guys when I was walking home, and I was like, "This is so entertaining."
I love it. It's so fun.
It's very good. You guys are good.
It's funny.
The YouTube channel is Meant to Excel Digital. I will type it in there.
And I don't need to watch the show. I could just watch you guys.
Yeah, that's it. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me join and give you my perspective from being a member of staff in the camp.
Yes, ma'am. When do you want to come on?
Not tonight.
Just tell us in the week what day you want to come on.
I'll tell you in the week. Yeah. I'll tell you in the week what day. Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, lovely. Yes, so 10:30 today we will be live again.
Excellent. I'll see you in the chat.
They are very entertaining. I love it.
It is. And you know what I love as well? You lot keep doing twinsies. I don't think it's meant to, but you lot keep doing twinsies. In the costume.
Really? And what we're wearing?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to be twins today because I haven't seen Russ
It's
left
so
out
funny.
early. I bet he probably is in a black top.
I just love like the fact that Russ is like, and Dean. I don't want to keep saying his name, but Dean.
He's such a liar about he doesn't want to be a horrible person. We are the same. We're both as horrible as each other.
You're just more blatant. That's all. You're more
And he's
blatant
just-
than
yeah,
him. That's
he's
what we're all
considered.
discovering.
He's considered.
Okay.
All right.
All
So
right, guys.
tonight I'll
Happy
see you guys.
Sunday.
This was fun, man. We got through a lot today. We did a lot of stories.
A lot of stories on that doc.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Loads.
So night. It's not even that.
Bye.
Bye.